What's going on, y'all? So today we are on episode 20. Like,
Goddamn.
if you'd have told me when we started this, we get to 20, I'd believe you, but man, it flew by.
Actually.
Flew by, but y'all know what time it is. It's a 5 hour podcast. We come with 5 segments every week. And Joey, man, let me first off introduce myself, Everton Levy, as y'all
Mhm.
know, and I'm joined by Joey, the master, LeMaster. How you doing today, Joey?
I'm doing fantastic, Everton. It's been one chaotic week for me. It's led to a couple delays in the podcast, but I'm just happy to finally be here because this is what we look forward to doing every week.
Yeah, yeah. This is it. Little delay, but better late than never, man.
Yeah,
Honestly,
exactly.
regardless of when we record, I just want to record. That's how it
Hey, hey,
is.
get me in the studio.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Desperate
we'll just jump
SoundCloud
right in.
rapper over here.
Low key, right?
Yeah.
Low key. But yeah, we'll jump right in. So it's been a very eventful week, yeah, for like NBA, WNBA, whatever. But let's start with the finals preview. Like, we got two great teams about to match up. A lot of storylines in this finals preview, in this finals matchup in general. So Joey, I mean, let's start off. What you got in store? What you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, so there's like a billion things to tackle before we even get to like a prediction of what's going to happen. There's so many stories, so many intriguing matchups. First off, let's just get the biggest one out of the way. The Kyrie revenge game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
how Kyrie is going to handle these Boston crowds is going to say a lot because they are going to destroy him. One, they hate Kyrie, and two, they're not a fan of the African American community.
No,
So like
no,
I
they are
know they
not.
are ready to have a field day on Kyrie. If some fans get kicked out for saying some things, I would not be surprised. But the
Yeah,
story is just there, man. He gets traded to Boston, supposed to be the guy. This is his chance to be the number one guy on a team and lead him to a championship. It's a
yeah.
little rocky, and he's like, I'm gonna resign. Haha, just kidding. I'm a Brooklyn Net, guys. So there's a lot of animosity there. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to see how that one's gonna play out. But if this was like Brooklyn Nets Kyrie, I'd be a little more worried because Kyrie
Mhm.
wasn't in the best mental space there. But this Kyrie is
Nah.
like a whole new man and like is
Yeah.
really what's helped lead the Dallas Mavericks to some success. So I think
Mhm.
he's ready for it. But I think that's easily the number one biggest story heading into this matchup.
Yeah, I would completely agree. There's some other ones, but this trumps everything. The Kyrie Boston, like ever since he left Boston, and even his like last year in Boston, it's been like this ongoing like clash. You know, obviously, like you said, went to Boston to be the number one guy, didn't really work out. He said, "I'm gonna resign." You know what? I'm not gonna resign, and goes to Brooklyn, becomes like the most hated man in Boston for maybe two reasons. Um, Okay. But and then obviously when they played Boston the first time around, they swept them, or was it either a sweeper or 5 games, whatever. They got him up out of there. Walks in the logo and wipes his foot on it. I respect it, honestly. Hey, I'm not a Celtics fan, so it doesn't bother me. And then the next year gets swept, but I remember that game one, he like flipped off the fans like twice in that game. Like, so it's clear that Kyrie does not rock with y'all Boston fans. And y'all Boston fans do rock with Kyrie. So, but I do think I don't know if we'll see those type of actions from Kyrie, because I don't that's Brooklyn, that's Kyrie, where a lot of stuff was just like everybody was hating on him, everything, this and that. He was just ready to whatever. It was like crash out Kyrie almost.
Mhm.
But since he got to Dallas, he's seen a lot more smiles out of him. So I think this is a bit more, if you want to say mature Kyrie, whatever you want to call him. So yeah, that's the biggest story though. Like that is the biggest story in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's more than just stories into this matchup.
Yeah.
Like we have the Porzingis revenge. No one cares about that. But when it comes to like actual like matchups like skill versus skill, I truly
hmm
believe this is the best finals we couldn't gotten just based on how
hmm
these playoffs went because I'm
Yeah.
so impressed by both these teams and the schemes they're gonna throw each other is nuts. Like
Oh,
this Dallas Mavericks offense is no joke. The Minnesota Timberwolves, we were talking about being the best defense we've seen since the 2010s, maybe since like the '04 Pistons. And the
literally
Mavericks just mollywopped them.
pick them apart.
Yeah, and so
Pick
this is
them
like
absolutely
my
apart.
biggest worry for the Celtics heading into the series is like
hmm
the reason the Timberwolves defense was so good is they could defend the perimeter, defend the
hmm
paint, and they had
Yeah.
freakish size as well everywhere.
Yeah.
Celtics don't really have that size. Like, yeah, they have
hmm
the guards,
hmm
but outside of that, it's Tatum and Porzingis. Like Jaden McDaniels is pretty much running the two at some moments and able to defend these perimeter guys. They're not gonna be able to always do that with Luka and Kyrie and these other lob threats. So
Yeah.
Everton, what do the Celtics need to do defensively to stop this Mavericks team?
Here's the thing, right? I've been thinking about this and I'm not even really sure, because here's the thing, right? I just said that twice. Luca and Kyrie, there's not really much you can do to stop them, right? I think
Mhm.
Boston has probably the best in a way personnel for Luka and Kyrie in terms of like switchability. So, because when the Timberwolves played them, yeah, they have the best defensive like personnel in a way, but once Gobert is on Luka or Kyrie, it's a bucket or a lob. Let's just call a
Mhm.
spade a spade.
Yeah.
No hate to Gobert, I'm not one of those people, but we know how that goes. With Boston, outside of like Al Horford, which God forbid Al Horford has to guard Luka or Kyrie,
Dude,
like
we saw what Nemhard was doing to him, bro.
it. What did I say? That step back, it went every time.
Mhm.
So hopefully Al Horford doesn't get that switch. But outside of Al Horford, all four of those guys on the floor, because I'm is Porzingis cleared to play? Is he going to
He
play
is.
game one?
Porzing,
He is going to
I'm not
play.
sure if he's going to play game one. I think it's more than 50-50. I think he's probable, but he'll definitely will
Mhm.
be in at the series.
Yeah, so okay, so depending on Porzingis, but
Mhm.
either or, I don't even know how I feel about Porzingis on Luka or Kyrie.
Yeah,
He's
especially
better than
fresh off an
Horford.
injury.
That too, exactly. But the other four guys, okay, you got Derek White, Drew Holiday, Tatum, and Brown. All great defenders, right?
Mhm.
And they're all wing defenders too. So it's not like it'll be a size thing either. So those four are your best bet. But outside of those four, you're kind of cooked, to be
Mhm.
honest. And that's why I'm not sure. And you're not just gonna stop Luke and Kyrie. It's kind of one of those things either. And
Mhm.
the biggest thing is, we talk about this for Jokic, where he's gonna make the right read every time. Luka is in that same bracket.
Mhm.
Like we talk about top three passers in the league right now. Luka is in that top three. That's that simple. So, and my biggest thing, I know I said Luka and Kyrie, but my biggest thing, those two bigs, Gafford and Lively. I'm very curious what the Celtics are gonna do to go against what they do in terms of Luka and Kyrie. In terms of Luka, really, because Luka, I swear, every game he just throws the ball up and then someone's catching a lob. I swear they did that the whole series. So my question for the Celtics is, what will they do to like combat that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's where I worry. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm a little more safer. I should have thought more deep about it, but the reason the Mavericks are able to get so many lobs on the Timberwolves is because of how frequently they're trying to switch on everything. And when you do
Hmm.
those switches, at least it opens to the lobs. The
Yeah.
Celtics just cannot afford to switch as often as the
Mm-mm.
Timberwolves did, or else those lobs are going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's
Every
why I
time.
think it's kind of nice for them that they have four guys that you can argue can stay on Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah.
But here's the big issue. Let's say it's Tatum and Brown. Did we see how tired Anthony Edwards was having to defend Kyrie for 40 minutes?
Man,
If you're putting
bro.
Tatum or Brown on Kyrie or Luca,
Hmm.
you're losing a scoring option right there. Like, no
Yeah.
question about it. So,
Hmm.
another worry for the Celtics in this scenario is like, let's say Jalen Brown's on him or Tatum's on him. The other guy has to have the perfect night or else it's a loss.
Yeah, I definitely. That's why, but that's a lucky part of having Drew and Derek. You
Mhm.
kind of don't have to do that because you can kind of put either or on one of those guys. But you have to also have to think about, look, maybe I'll go in depth with this because of what happened in the Pacers Celtics series. But some of those nights, I know Jalen Brown and Tatum did their thing, but Derek White and Drew Holiday also had to put up some numbers too. It wasn't just them
Mhm.
playing defense and F all. No, those dudes were actually scoring too. So if both of them are so tired they can't even score the ball, and you're putting it all on Tatum and Brown. Look, hey, I don't
Mhm.
know I think they can step up, but we can also tell that Celtics depth. I mean, yeah, right? Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, I know Porzingis was gone a lot, but
Mhm. And I was that was another point I want to talk about is I've been
mhm,
so impressed by the Mavericks depth this like off
mhm,
season or not while off season this playoffs. I wasn't expecting it.
yeah,
I haven't really made it too known on this podcast, but I've been a Josh Green and Jaden Hardy denier.
mm,
I've always thought they were not good at the game
really?
of basketball. They've been fantastic this playoffs. I have to give them credit where it's due. Like I
Oh,
remember watching this
yeah.
start and like Jason
Mm.
Kidd would bring them both on the court at the same time. Like, oh, what's this doofus doing putting these two guys on the court at the same time? And they hooped. I was like, all right, I
Yeah.
see the vision, Jason Kidd. And not to quickly transition off the bench from the depth, but I do need to talk about this. I've been a very well-known Jason Kidd
Yeah.
hater. I've been on that train. I've been so
Hmm.
impressed these playoffs.
Yeah.
He has always
Yeah, I
made
can't even
he's made
lie.
the right challenge every time. He's figured out the right defensive schemes to get through games he shouldn't have made it through,
Hmm.
and the rotations have just worked out. So
Yeah.
Jason Kidd, I just would like to congratulate you for making it off my hate list because you proved me wrong. I will give credit where it's due. You have helped the Mavericks get to the finals. Like you've been a major pro.
Yeah. I definitely agree. He's impressed me. You know, Jason Kidd, I had my reservations about too. I maybe wasn't as big of a hater as you are, but I was like, Kid, cool, cool, cool. But
Yeah.
as they've gone through these playoffs, I have to admit he has done a great job coaching. I mean, I know probably seen that graphic that the Mavs have played like 350-win teams and they're about to play a 60-win team,
Yeah.
which that's insane. That just says a lot about the West. But to coach past three teams that are just like, yeah, because the Clippers, they're the Clippers, but that ain't a slouch matchup
Not at
and
all.
a first round matchup, right?
Hmm.
OKC, my own team, again, a young team, but they're not a slouch matchup to just be like, who cares? No, that's a 57-win team. Let's not just brush by them. And they beat us handily too. I'm not handily, but like they
Hmm.
beat us, you know? And then the Timberwolves, Timberwolves fresh off of beating a defending champ Nuggets team in seven, they go out there and get him out of there in five. And if it wasn't for game four looking a little shiesty, they could have swept them. So the Mavs, I think it's just hard for me to. Most of why I don't, we haven't yet done our predictions yet, so I'll wait on the prediction part. But
Yeah.
the Mavericks, I'm impressed by Jason Kidd's coaching for sure. He's done a great job coaching.
Yeah. So we've hyped up the Mavericks a lot, but we do have to show Celtics some love. I
Yeah.
mean, they are in the finals. We can't just
Hmm.
glaze the Mavericks the whole time. And I want to give the Celtics credit for this because I felt like I was kind of hating on it in the video we did
Hmm.
because this is a quote. I think I might have said it too, but I know you said it specifically, where it's like the Celtics did not have any adversity in these playoffs. Yes, the Pacers choked some of these games, but that also helps with the Celtics doing a good job. Like the
True.
Celtics took advantage of the opportunities that they had. I know they should not
Hmm.
have been in these holes, but they still
No.
were able to dig themselves out. So
Yeah.
there's a team that's gone through some adversity. So I know they're ready for the moment. And they have the best like starting six. I know it's technically starting five, but when you go to the best five and a six man, the
Yeah.
Celtics have the best in the NBA. So
Yeah.
Everton, my question is for you. Mavericks defensive wise, how did they prepare for this matchup? Because you got Tatum, you got Brown, you got Porzingis coming back. There's a lot of people you got to watch out for. How do you stop that?
I think that's the really tough part for the Mavericks because their offense is so hard to gauge. But the Celtics, you're gonna have to put your two best defenders on Tatum and Brown. It's that simple. You kind of have to live with if Drew Holiday steps up and makes some shots, you're gonna have to kind of like live with that in a way. And then look, Lively doesn't move too bad on his feet, but I'm not saying put him on Tatum or Brown.
No, no,
But
no, 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 no.
no, but those two bigs in the paint are definitely great. Because here's the thing. The Celtics shoot a lot of threes.
Mm.
So I don't know if that's going to drag them out the paint or not. That's my question. Like, are you willing to drag them out the paint because the Celtics chuck up a lot of threes, or are you going to keep those guys on that block and let them shoot a bunch of threes and see how that gets them? Because you can live and die by the three.
Man, I kind of feel like you have to bring him out though, because like with
Yeah.
Porzingis being back, Porzingis can definitely stretch the floor. And if you're gonna sag off him, I feel like he's
Mhm.
gonna take advantage of that.
He is. And that's why I'm like, that
Mm.
they're gonna that five ironically, the Celtics are probably gonna do a 5-out offense. I know that's
Mm.
like,
Yeah.
self-plug, but like they
Uh-huh.
low key are probably gonna do a 5-out offense
Mm.
because they like to shoot a lot of threes, man. Almost
Yeah.
too many. But
Mm.
if they're attacking a basket, those two bigs are right there. Lively and Gafford gonna get them shot. Gafford, he gonna block them
Okay.
shots,
Uh-huh.
right? But on the perimeter, man, I don't know. I have to give Luke and Kyrie some credit. They've actually been decent defensively, not like cone worthy, you know,
Oh,
but
they're
like
nowhere near Cone. They've been
nowhere near cone.
especially Kyrie.
Yeah,
This has been the best defense of Kyrie's career.
easily, easily. There's
Yeah.
games I'm like, whoa, why is Kyrie like locking up right now? What's going
Yeah.
on? So those two aren't slouches on defense anymore, but I'm not putting either of them on like Tatum or Brown. Let's not
No.
be stupid now.
Yeah.
Let's reel it in.
Mm.
But guys like PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. are going to have to step up defensively on Tatum and Brown. It's kind of
Yeah.
that simple. Those two are going to have to do what they've done so far in this playoffs defensively on Tatum
Mm.
and Brown. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of struggling to figure out what the matchup for Jaylen Brown is, in all honesty, because like when it comes to Tatum, I think you put Derrick Jones on him just because of the size and length he has. Like
Hmm.
Jaylen Brown, like I don't think PJ Washington's quick enough
Hmm.
or has enough agility to keep up with Brown, and you don't want to put Kyrie and Luca on him either.
No.
So I think Jaylen Brown's a big X factor coming into this series.
Hmm.
But another thing I want to say on top of that is with Jason Tatum, if you have Derrick Jones on you, use your freaking muscle. If you just pull it with the 6'7", 7'2" wingspan guy in front of you instead of attacking his chest, because that's where Derrick Jones has been capitalizing this playoffs. Like he's been incredible defending the perimeter. When someone attacks him, puts their shoulder into his chest, they're getting a foul or they're getting an and one.
Easy because he's
So
skinny.
Yeah, he's skinny. He's lengthy, but he's skinny, and that's something Jason Tatum needs to take advantage of. This is probably the
Hmm
14th episode in a row we brought this up about Jason Tatum. Is if Jason Tatum wants to be the Finals MVP, he's got to be ready to attack Derrick Jones. He can't let Derrick Jones control him on the defensive side of the ball.
Basically, don't let Derrick Jones do you like Andrew Wiggins did you. You know, because some obviously Andrew Wiggins played good defense, but some of those times Tatum's just settling,
Mhm.
and if he's gonna settle the whole series, he's only gonna unless he's making them shots. Hey, you got it, bro. But if he's settling the whole series and he's not making them, he's only gonna make it worse for his team. Because look, I've said this, we've said this. When he goes to the basket, bro is a problem.
Mhm.
Like as a slasher, it's there. He scores almost every time he goes to the cup, or he gets fouled, but he just doesn't do it as often. So if he decides to settle, and that's what I was gonna ask you, do you think PJ makes more sense on Tatum and then put Jones on Brown, or is PJ too slow for Tatum?
Honestly, I think it's just really whoever's hot in the night, Derrick Jones has to go on them. I'm not trying
Yeah,
to say
okay.
like PJ Washington's a slouch because PJ Washington has been great on the defense side of the ball this
Mm,
postseason,
yeah.
but he's been guarding the bigger guys. It's just Tatum and Brown are both so quick, which I just don't really see in PJ Washington's game. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of just like pick your poison. Who's ever hot or Derrick Jones get on him.
Okay. That's fair. You
But
you don't think Jalen Brown's too big for Jones either? Because Jalen Brown kind of he'll
I think Tatum's the. I mean, when it comes to size threat, I'm more worried about
yeah,
Tatum
yeah.
than I am Brown. But
Yeah,
Everton,
yeah,
I have a question for you before we get into predictions.
yeah.
What is the Mavericks method to victory, and then what's the Celtics method to victory?
I mean, the Mavericks method to victory is easily the role players. Like I trust in Luca and Kyrie. It's really just if those other guys are gonna crumble on the
Mm.
biggest stage or if they're gonna continue doing what they've done throughout this playoffs.
Yeah, let me add on to that because that is important. PJ Washington, the
Mm-hmm.
Bayern Leverkusen method cannot happen in this series. You
No,
can't do nothing the first 3 and 3/4 quarters and then start making two threes in the last 2 minutes.
you can't do it. You
It
can't do
can't,
that.
they need you the whole freaking game. No more
Yeah.
Bayern Leverkusen. If PJ
No.
Washington wants to help this team win and help his home guys do it, the three needs to be there the whole game.
Yeah.
That spacing is so massive. If you can let Luca and Kyrie get these switches and attack the paint, you
Mm-hmm.
need to hit those shots in the corner so bad.
Literally.
Can't
Yeah.
be the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
a
why I do agree.
phenomenal,
Yeah. The role
phenomenal comparison.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the role players are so massive for the series. Jaden Hardy and wow, Jason Hardy
Mm-hmm.
and Josh Green. They got to continue playing good. Maxi Kleber, I still love him as a stretch big. He needs to have the
Yeah,
confidence in
yeah.
the shot again. If
Mm-hmm.
that's there, that's there. And the Mavericks need to avoid injury. That's another big
Yeah.
thing. Because when
Oh man.
when Derek Lively went down and I saw Dwight Powell go into the game, I was like, no. And they took advantage of it every time, the Timberwolves. So this Mavericks team needs to stay healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
those
the
are two big
role
things.
players are so massive in the series.
Yes, like very massive. I like that comparison, that Bayer Leverkusen, because look, if PJ Washington does that method, they're gonna end up losing the Europa League, give or take.
Wow,
Right?
that's
So,
crazy. Everton went to Champions League for the 15th time and doesn't know how to act.
I mean, what can I say?
Gets Kylian Mbappe literally the day after.
What can I say, man? Let me not get hyped now. But
Just getting big and greedy over there in the corner.
I mean, bro, I ain't gonna lie. It's I've never smiled so hard. Bro, but nonetheless, like him specifically, because PJ, he has some games where I'm like, yo, you're doing your thing. Some games where I'm like, why'd you wait till now to start making shots?
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
actually,
So
like my group
yeah,
chat that I'm in with my high school friends, they've been
yeah.
going in on PJ Washington this series. He has
Yeah.
not survived the doofus allegations.
I don't blame him, bro,
Yeah.
because like people now only know him for doing this. Bro, come on, bro.
Yeah.
He gotta be a little bit more because the Celtics ain't the team to be inconsistent with like that.
Mhm.
Are they? You know what? I'll
Maybe
talk about the
one game.
Celtics, right? So you asked what the Celtics' key to victory is.
Mhm.
I'm gonna honestly say Celtics' key to victory is their stars. Are their stars gonna step up to the plate?
Mhm.
The last time the team was in the finals, Jalen Brown answered that question. He was pretty good in that finals. Jason Tatum then I answered that question.
Mhm.
So, and they still went to 6 games with the Warriors. So to me, I believe in Jalen Brown. He just won the conference finals MVP. And Tatum actually his numbers were good in that conference finals. So don't get it twisted. He wasn't like terrible or anything. But if he can play up to par while Jalen Brown was playing up to par, I think they can win this series.
Mhm.
That's the only question for me. Like, can those can both of them play up to par? Because with the way that the role players have played for the Celtics in a way, look, if both y'all aren't kind of firing on all cylinders, it's gonna get a little interesting, against the Mavericks specifically. Against other
Mhm.
teams that they've played, you can slide, you know?
Yeah.
The Pacers, they could have won three of those games if they were like, we could really close out this game. But let's actually not close out this game. That's literally what the Pacers were doing all series. Just
Mhm.
all series. They were like, man, we could win this game. Let's not win this game, by the way. Just don't win this game. That's literally what they were doing.
Mhm.
But the Mavericks are not the team to do that with. Do
No.
not give the Mavericks that chance because the Celtics were like, Pacers, we'll let y'all go up. Go up.
Mhm.
You cannot do that against the Mavericks. I'm not gonna lie. Do not play that game with them. That's just gonna set you up for failure.
So Everton, I think on a count of three, two, one, go, we should say our predictions at the same time.
All right, that's
Because
fine.
I,
That's
I have
fine.
no idea who you're picking. I don't think you know who I'm picking.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm
And
not sure.
yeah, don't say the games, just say the team, and then we'll say games afterwards.
Okay, okay,
All
that's
right,
fine.
three, two, one, go.
Mavericks.
Oh fuck, Celtics. So I make sure we're good at three, two, one, go. My bad, but I'm going Celtics.
I'm going Mavericks.
Yeah, I'll go first. So I've been so impressed by the Mavericks. I've pretty much said it the whole entire postseason. I actually bet on them on December 27th for them to win the Western Conference.
Oh,
Not to stunt or anything, but I
is
did do
that
that.
pre-trade deadline? Hey, we might have to keep our eyes on you, bro.
I'm a visionary. I'm a
Oh my
visionary.
goodness. Okay.
But it's just I've been so impressed in this postseason, especially how they've been defensively. I just think having because like you look at the Timberwolves series, the main guy they were having to stress is Anthony Edwards, and then Cat was
Mm,
super inconsistent. I think
mm,
heading this series, I just think the trio of Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis is a lot to worry about on the defensive side of the ball. And I
yeah,
still think they're going to win some games. I just think that's too much to overwhelm them because I think they've been incredibly defense, but that's no slouch, especially with how good on the defensive side of the ball the Celtics are as well.
yeah,
And that's just my big thing is those three guys. I think the series is gonna be so freaking competitive.
yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going 7 games still, but I'm leaning towards Boston just because of that big three offensively.
I'm not mad at that. I got Mavs. I'm not gonna say game yet, but I have the Mavs because one, I just don't know how they are going to guard those lobs. I know lobs are only 2 points, but the Mavs love throwing lobs. I see them
Hmm.
throw like 5 a game, and I'm just curious how the Celtics are gonna cope with that. Obviously, the prospect of Kyrie and Luca, that's there. I'm not even gonna discuss that because we know that.
Hmm.
But the biggest thing for me, why I'm going with the Mavericks, first off, I got this wrong with the Timberwolves one. I got that wrong. I got the
Yeah.
Timberwolves were gonna win. I was completely wrong. The Mavs showed me something. I was like, hey, y'all got it.
Hmm.
Um, but for the Mavs to pick apart the number one defense like that, granted, I've learned in this playoffs, it's matchups. It's strictly matchups on who you
Absolutely.
play against. So I can't even use that as an argument. But regardless, they were number one defense. The Mavs picked them apart. Boston Celtics are a great defense. Who says the Mavs can't do the same? But the personnel is different.
Hmm.
So, but my biggest thing, the Celtics love to play with their food. They
Yeah.
do this all the time, all the time. So for me, that's my biggest thing. Do I trust them to finally, if this is their year, I would not be surprised, and I wouldn't be mad at them because people are trying to throw shade at them for easiest path. Look, I've thrown a little bit too. You got to beat who's in front of you.
Hmm.
Regardless, you have to be who's in front of you. So respect to them in dominant fashion too. I know they pretty much gentlemen swept, pretty much, right? So they've done what they needed to do. And my biggest question to them is, are you going to play with your food or are you going to lock in and get it done? And that's
Hmm.
why I said their biggest thing is those 2 stars. And the thing what you said, Porzingis, that's true if he wasn't coming off an injury. That's my only thing. He's
Yeah.
coming off an injury, so I don't know how effective he's going to be. And I don't even know how many games he's going to play. I know you said he's probable for game one. We still have a couple more days, so obviously we don't know yet. But if he misses game one or maybe even game two, it's gonna be that could
Hmm.
be 2 very important games that he doesn't play or one game he doesn't play, because it's all
Yeah.
about momentum as well.
Hmm.
So I don't
Not,
know.
yeah, I agree. That absolutely changed the series because, like, as we talked about earlier, specifically you, when that Timberwolves series, when they had Rudy Gobert switch on the guards, it was over.
Over.
Porzingis is going to do a better job on that than Al
Yeah.
Horford is. If it's Al
Yeah.
Horford, Howard Greens, you name it, like
Braised oxtail. Like it's
yeah,
it's cooked. It's so cooked for them if that happens.
yeah, this is gonna be the best series of the playoffs, though. I
Mm.
believe this is the best finals matchup we could have gotten.
Honestly,
I know it's
yeah.
supposed to be Celtics Nuggets, but I'm more excited for this.
I think that's just too easy to call. So it's funner to have a
Yeah,
new team, you
dude,
know?
I did say it. Like it just the
You
chalk
did.
does not happen. It could not have
No.
been Celtics Nuggets.
Mm-mm.
Unfortunately, I picked the two wrong teams.
You know what? One of them you would have had a better chance if they were healthy.
Uh-huh.
The other one, it's the Clippers, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I just don't trust
Oh no,
them.
no, no. That was the first prediction. Chill, chill, chill. We made up
Oh,
for it.
oh, the first. That was the first
Yeah,
first
I,
one. You're
I
right.
ended up going Nuggets Knicks.
You did go Nuggets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
Knicks one, you stood by that one.
Yeah.
And barring injury, mm,
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 the world will never know.
we'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. But is anything else you'd like to add?
Um, just quick side note in case we didn't bring this up. Celtics, your depth players also need to show up. I don't know how I
Yes.
didn't bring that up.
I don't know why we didn't say
Yeah, I
that.
said
Yeah.
they've stunk the bed this playoffs. They can't
Oh
stink
my
the bed this
gosh.
time.
Peyton
I-
Pritchard, you got to do something, bro.
yeah, Luke Cornett. I know it's 8 minutes, but those 8 minutes you cannot be a threat. I mean, not a
You
threat, a liability.
Yeah, you cannot be a liability on the court, bro. Like those guys got to. You're Peyton Pritchard. Your whole thing can't just be that's just white Kyrie. You can't just be white Kyrie, and I don't see
Yeah,
anything. So
yeah.
a
You
lot
can't.
of
I know. Peyton Pritchard, you cannot be the guy that looks like you can't be made fun for the guys like that gives out the free haircuts. Like, let me bless your day. That's literally what
oh
Peyton Pritchard.
Vic Blends,
Yeah, he's literally
Vic
Vic
Blends,
Blends, bro. When he has a
bro.
bad game, that's all I can think about.
Literally Vic Blends, bro. And
Yeah,
Sam Hauser, make a
yeah.
shot,
Yeah,
make a shot,
your whole gimmick is you make 3 pointers. Make them.
make them. Make them. And that's the other thing. I do trust the Mavericks role players way more than I trust the Celtics role players.
I do agree on that one,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, bro. For
But
sure.
exciting series on the way.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, we've talked about the finals. There's the West team and the East team, but it's been a long season. We can all
Absolutely.
agree it's been a long season. It kind of flew by in a way, but it's been an 82 game season and we're in the finals already.
Mhm,
So, with that in mind, why don't we tier list some of these teams? Let's start from the
mhm,
East though. Let's tier list some of these Eastern teams. S, A, B, C, D.
mhm.
So, Joey,
Oh, are we not doing F?
you know what? Yeah, F. Sorry, I
Okay.
did not say F. We will throw F in there because there's some Fs. There's
Yeah.
definitely Fs.
Yeah.
So we're in the East. Would you rather start from top or start from the bottom? Pause.
I think we should mix it. That's hilarious, but I think we should mix and match. I don't think we gotta go directly in order.
Oh, okay, that's even better.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, you go. You can. You want to pick first?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick first because there's a little bit of a variance in this answer.
Okay,
I'm gonna start off with the Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics. Okay, yeah.
It's either S or F. That's actually how I feel about this team. Because the whole season, it's you either win the chip or it was a bust. And I still
Hmm.
feel the same exact way. So if you win the chip, it's a S. This is everything it should have been.
Yeah,
But if you fail, especially after the path you had in the playoffs and how high the expectations are, how good the NBA is about to become, and you can't make any more improvements, it's a fail. And I don't think there's
yeah,
another way to sugarcoat it. It's like, oh yeah, we made the finals, but we didn't win it. How many times are you allowed to say that? I know
yeah.
for so many other teams making a finals, like the Mavericks, for example, it's probably an S season.
Hmm.
The Celtics, it's different expectations. You can't keep making it this far and you can't keep failing. So that's why I believe, depending on how this finals goes, that you're gonna have an S or an F.
Okay. Yeah, I gave them an S because, like they've literally done everything we expected. They had the best record this season. They're in the finals. They've done everything we expected.
Mhm,
But if they lose the finals, it definitely will drop them because look, they've been contenders for God knows how long and they
mhm.
just never get it done. We're talking about 2018. You got to game 7 against literally just LeBron and you lost. You're young. Cool. Y'all be back. Didn't come back for another few years, right? 2020, the bubble should have made it to the finals. Jimmy Butler said, "Nah, bro, you're not going to the finals." Okay, fine. You're still young. Tatum just first year as a star. 2022, you made it to the finals. Finally, you're back in the finals. Steph Curry said, cool story, bro.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote, right? Your next year, you go down 3-0 to the 8th seed. You come back and then you lose game 7. This year is the year because, like you said, they cannot get any better from this.
Mhm.
There's no up. It's literally you're gonna just hope those dudes get better or something. But your team can't really make improvements. This is a definitely a chip or bust year for the Celtics because
Mhm.
it's just it all rides on this series right here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If it's a bust, how can it not be an F? Like seriously. And I'm not trying to be like a Celtics hater, but just that's what I think a big thing is when you do this tier list for team season is
Mhm.
different teams have different expectations.
They do.
With the Celtics'
Mhm.
expectations, this has to be a fail if they don't win the chip. It has to be an
Yeah,
F.
that's very true. I am not mad at that at all.
Yeah.
It's
So
S if they win, though. S
yeah,
if they win. We will play
absolutely.
fair. Play
Yeah.
fair. It's definitely S if they win. No argue on that.
Yeah. So that was the only one where I had a big variance on. So that's why I wanted to get that one out of the way at the start.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. I guess for me, I want to talk about the Sixers.
Okay. What do you want to give them, Everton? What are you thinking?
Okay, so I gave them a C.
Mm,
Now, I have to, there's some context to that, of course, because pre Embiid injury, this team was like a 2 seed or a three
yeah.
seed. He gets injured, they drop all the way down to 7.
Hmm.
I can't act like that's why I only gave them a C because in
Hmm.
retrospect, that could even be lower. But
Yeah.
because of the context, because of they traded James Harden, how they're gonna do with just Maxine and Embiid, this and that. Because of all that, I can give them a flat C because look, your best player got injured for more than half of the season. You still able to make the playoffs. I got to give you some credit for that.
Yeah.
To some capacity, I got to
Yeah.
give you some credit.
And you still gave the Knicks a fight as well. And Embiid didn't completely crap his pants in the playoffs like we were expecting he
Yeah.
would be. So
Hmm.
that's why, with all that happening, I do agree with the C. But
Hmm.
76ers, I'm having higher expectations next year with this cap space you're about to have.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
But if you sign Paul George, I'm going to have some agendas to push on this podcast. Paul
I'm
George
not mad
and
at that.
Embiid on the same team? Oh my
Dude,
God.
I'm not gonna lie, Tyrese Maxey might be in hell if that happens, bro.
Yeah, 76ers. Let's see what happens this offseason. I'm gonna have higher expectations next year, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
just if they stayed as the 2 seed, oh, they would be so much higher. But just
Mm.
sometimes BS happens, like with the Grizzlies, just shit happens. So
Yeah,
that's
it
why I'm giving the Sixers a C as well. I can agree on that one.
okay, cool. Bet. You could pick the next team.
All right, let me pull up the Eastern Conference. I want to see which team I want to talk about first.
Okay.
Um, let's do some positive stuff now. We did a little bit of hating. Let's talk about the
Okay.
Orlando Magic.
So I'm glad we both agree that that's a positive.
Yeah. If you look at this season as a negative for the Orlando Magic,
You're
you
an
are a
idiot.
hater. You're a
Or
hater.
that. You're a
Yeah.
hater. Tier one hater. Like tier one
Yeah.
hater.
Yeah. Ever since like I came out of the womb, the Magic have been dog shit outside of like one season with Dwight Howard. The expectations have never really been there. But the Magic, man, they look good this season. Got up to the 5th seed. All these young guys developed. Boncaro's a legit all-star.
Mm-hmm.
Wagner is a legit star. Jalen
Mm-hmm.
Suggs an elite role player.
Mm-hmm.
You got it going all over the place. It's just you ended up losing to the Cavaliers just because you were a little young. But there's no way you can't look at this season as a success. I think expectations wise it should be an A, but how they finished, I feel like it should be a B. Everton, would you give them an A or a B?
I gave them an A because I didn't expect them to be a 5 seed, and they could have even gone higher. But yeah, I gave them an A because I didn't expect them to be a 5 seed. I didn't expect Paulo to become an all-star. Like I saw the glimpses as a rookie, but him becoming an all-star, I was like, wow, okay. And Franz took a step. Hats off to Suggs too. Like, bro
Mm-hmm.
became an actual like impact player. And this team still has holes. That's the thing. This team
Yeah.
actually has legit holes that
They're
you
the we talk about it every time. They like with the negatives they have, they should not be a good basketball team. They can't
no,
shoot the
they
ball, they
shouldn't.
can't rebound, and they can't play make. How are you guys a five
Like
seed?
how? That's what I'm saying. Like with those flaws in my mind, I got to give them credit for even being a 47 and 35 wins team and they
Yeah.
did seed. So I give them an A just off of that. And they're a young team. Didn't expect much.
Yeah.
A for me.
Yeah, 18. I'm
What do
gonna agree
you?
with A as well. I was varying between A and B just because I know it was knocked down the first round, but with their expectations, the Magic's were sucks. So the fact they're here is awesome. But Orlando, we're gonna have high, like with the Sixers, I'm having high expectations next year.
Yeah.
You guys
Me
got money
too.
to spend.
Go get Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Okay. um. Honestly, let's go straight from positivity to negativity. Let's go to Brooklyn, man.
Do they even
Let's go to
deserve a
Brooklyn.
grade?
I know, right? Brooklyn. I mean, it's either a D or an F.
No,
Like
it's an F. It's
it's an
definitely an
F.
F. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. I was trying to be nice and maybe give him a D, but it's an F. Like
No, okay,
you,
Everton. Let's say you want to
not
give.
only.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, actually, no. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say like no homo, but if you really want to give them a D, you have to have a positive takeaway from the season. What
And that's
positive
true.
can the Brooklyn Nets take from the season?
Nothing, literally nothing. So that's why I'm like, yeah, that's why I said D or F. And I was kind of banking on what you were gonna go with. And if you
Yeah.
went F, I'm going F.
Yeah, no, because that's
So
like if you're getting a D, you at least have one positive. The Brooklyn Nets
true.
have nothing. This
None.
team sucks. And Nick Claxton's gonna leave this offseason too.
Yeah. It's well, they're gonna match any offer he gets. Let's be honest.
Dude, okay, I gotta do a little bit of research, but I was watching this one guy on TikTok. I really like his name's Ryan Hammer. Apparently, he's a UFA. Like, I'm not sure if 2K is like lying or he was
Wait.
lying.
Oh, you know what? Here's the thing. If he's a second round pick, I think he might be UFA.
Oh my
But
God, he is.
he's a second round pick. He might be UFA then because second round picks are usually UFAs. It's only first rounders I think are restricted. But don't quote
2K,
me on that.
2K just stinks.
I mean, come on. It's
Yeah.
2K. um, but yeah, Brooklyn, it's an F. Like,
Mm,
not only did your season go bad, but the things you passed up on. I think the biggest thing for me, you could have traded Mikal Bridges and got
mm,
Jalen Green and draft capital. You said,
yeah.
no, I don't want that. Look where that got you.
Yeah.
No, to Mikal. I actually think Mikal's a great player. I just don't
Mm,
think he's the best player on a good team.
yeah.
Let's just call spade a spade. If
Yeah.
Mikal is your best player, you're
Mm.
bad.
Yeah, because
You're
what
bad.
really sucks is like again how they could get that Rockets trade. The Rockets
Mhm.
are still planning on trading him for him this offseason, but you're not getting Jalen Green this time. It's not
No,
happening.
that is
Like,
not happening.
you're getting
No,
pick 3 and maybe your pick back.
that's probably it,
Yeah.
basically. So, and then my other thing, you Ben Simmons people, you tried to trick me. Y'all tried to
Mm,
trick me. Oh, I see something different in Ben this year. I feel
mm,
like he's really gonna come back on that stuff this year. Where y'all
mm.
at now, man?
Dude,
I'm not even a Ben Simmons hater. I actually
yeah.
liked Ben Simmons. I'm not a
Mm,
big Ben Simmons fan anymore, but I used to be a big Ben Simmons fan. But
mm. And dude,
brother,
and the circle of life has already continued. I already seen on Twitter, oh, Ben Simmons is hitting the gym this
oh
offseason.
my,
Y'all never learned. You guys love them toxic relationships where they always just ruin your life, make you mad, but you're always like, but I still trust him.
like, literally, bro. Like at a certain point, just let it go,
Yeah.
man. It ain't happening, bro. It's just
It's
not.
not. It's done.
So yeah, Brooklyn, easy F. I feel like we can all kind of agree on that. Nope, like you said, no positives.
Mhm.
Literally no positives.
So let's go to a team where I think is like you can do a little bit more debate on the grade. We're
Hmm.
gonna go look at the Miami Heat.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I th I think you go C. I really want to go lower though, if I'm being honest.
I I'll be. I gave him a D.
Yeah, I think okay, so it wasn't just me. I think it's a D.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
I
mean,
went D.
you have finals expectations. The Heroes an 8 seed, and like, yeah, injuries, but you can't bank on being the 1 seed every time. It's
That
just not how it
exactly.
works. So I
Yeah.
think if you look at season, if with you end up being as an 8 seed, just barely making it out of the play-in, I think it's got to be a D rating. Especially
Yeah.
like you guys, like you look at the East standings, like just on paper, you're better than these teams ahead of you,
Exactly.
and
Like,
so they need to
uh,
make a move this offseason.
they do. They definitely do. I think the other thing for me, you didn't get Dame, which in retrospect maybe wasn't a bad thing based
Uh-huh.
on how he played, but it's still Dame. I'm not gonna just act like that was a good decision.
Mhm.
Um, but to go into the season with relatively the same roster, minus adding like Jaime Jaquez or whatever, I expected this team to be better because they were the 8th seed last year
Mhm.
and they made it to the finals. And I'm like, all right, they don't get Dame. Looking at this East, I only had about 3 teams I was confident was like, all right, I'll take them over the Heat. And that was Boston, and that was Milwaukee. And I'll be completely honest, I wasn't sure about New York yet over Miami.
Uh-huh.
Over Miami. I wasn't sure about New York at the beginning of the season. I wasn't sure. Now, in retrospect, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But outside of Boston and Milwaukee, I was like, who's really better than the Heat?
Mhm.
you know. So for them to be the 8th seed, that look, Pat Riley, they gotta stop doing this Heat culture. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, bro, you can't just be a play-in team every year and hope that you're gonna beat the 1 seed. That's not a good plan at
It's
all,
awful. So,
at
so
all, bro.
I'm gonna agree with the D rating as well.
Okay, cool. We agree on that one. Let's go back to upper echelon of the East. 3 seeded Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, I thought we were gonna spread some positivity for a second.
You want to go back to positivity?
No, no, I mean we're adding the Bucks. Let's keep the hating going.
Let's do it, man. Um, I honestly gave this team I was
Is this a
okay.
D or an F?
That's what I was like. A D. I'll give them a D.
Okay,
I'll
because
give them
like
a D.
I feel like their injuries were a little more understandable to deal
Yeah.
with.
Hmm.
No, but I feel like they had more of a mess than Miami did because the Dame Giannis pairing never worked.
No.
Defense fell apart. There was
Hmm.
so much drama throughout the season as well when it came to coaching and all that. I kind of want to give them an F.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's why I'll stick to a D. One, look, Giannis still played like Giannis. It's not
Hmm.
like he was hindered. they still ended up with the 3 seed, which I can't just be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like it
that's fair.
is. Is it a weak 3 seed? Yeah, they won 49 games as a 3 seed. That's the East at this point.
Yeah.
What do y'all expect? They still were a 3 seed with all that in mind. So I gotta at least give them some sort of credit for at least being a 3 seed.
Mhm.
And that's only getting them to a D. Let's don't forget that, guys. Them
Yeah.
being a 3 seed is why they're not an F. So that's why I'll go with a D for them.
Yeah, I think I like that more. That does make a lot of sense because at least is a positive to look at. And whenever you have Giannis, it's kind of hard to be a failure.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the expectations were, I think I had higher expectations for them than the
Mm,
Heat, which is why I think I was hating a little more. But I think
yeah.
it does have to be a D.
Yeah, because at least with the Heat, they were still an 8 seed. So I have to be a bit more like, all right, y'all just didn't do whatever. But with the Bucks, they still somehow were a 3 seed. So I
Mm.
can't just be like, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we can agree on a D with
All
just
right.
because they're a 3 seed.
Let's do some positive. I want to give out our first S tier of the day.
Oh, because the Celtics weren't a sheer fire S tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
The Indiana Pacers.
You give them an S. Okay.
They made the Eastern Conference Final. What did you expect the Indiana Pacers to make it to the Eastern Conference
No,
Finals? And there was
no,
game. They should still be up in this series right now. Like if they didn't blow these leads.
low
The
key.
Pacers, you got a legit star in Tyrese Halliburton. You made the trade to get him a second guy in Pascal Siakam. All
Hmm.
your young guys, like Nemhart took a step up this year. Benedict before he
Hmm.
got hurt was doing it. Turner's still been fantastic.
Yeah.
You have Shepard that's still playing well off the bench. You made the trades you needed to do. You got a legit star. Indiana's becoming a big market. And you made the Eastern Conference Finals. How could that not be an S season?
I, I mean, I gave him an A because of that. I don't know. S is like I can't say a team that was still the 6 seed. And let's be honest, what was their path to the Eastern Conference Finals? It was a little shaky. Let's be
You
honest.
gotta be who's in front of you.
That's true. You do have to be different. That's fair. That's fair too.
Yeah.
That's fair too. I don't know. I feel like S tier. That's a tough one. Maybe I can.
Because you gotta think about expectations as well.
True. True. They went above that and made it to the ECF. Tyrese took a step forward until he got hurt, and then his diamond tester came out.
Yeah.
They actually went and got a second star, which is great. Hopefully he resigns, which looks like he will. I don't see there any
Mhm.
reason why he wouldn't. The young guys looked better. Um, all around their team took some steps. In season tournament, I actually forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. They made how? Yeah. How could this not be an S?
Okay, you know what? I'll give them an S.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit of a Mickey S, but we'll give them an
Mhm.
S.
I love the hatred,
I
but
mean,
I got like unless if the Celtics don't win the finals, this is the only team I'd be confident giving an S in the Eastern Conference Finals in the Eastern Conference.
okay. I might still be on the A, but you know what? You pick the team, so I'll reason with you. We'll roll with the S
I appreciate it.
for sure. I don't know if this one's a positive, but I kind of saw it as a positive. Toronto Raptors.
I think this is kind of a C. I mean, like you got like the right steps. You just didn't win games,
Yeah.
but you don't see
Um,
you can't see the season as a failure. Definitely.
no. I went for a C because I feel like look, a team that won 25 games just can't get higher than a C. Like there's not enough, you can't get
Yeah.
higher than that, but I like what they did. Scotty
Hmm.
took a step and became an all-star. The OG trade and Pascal's trades were like actually not terrible.
Hmm.
Like Emmanuel quickly's cool. RJ actually looked really comfortable in Canada, so maybe a hometown coming was like what he needed. Um, who was in the Pascal trade? Oh, Bruce Brown. I don't know if he'll even be on the Raptors next season. Probably not. But regardless, you got a little bit of draft capital. What pick do the Raptors have? Or do they not even have their pick?
No, they have their pick.
What pick is it again? I forgot.
Didn't they sneak into the lottery? Or not in the lottery? Didn't they get like into the top four? Hold on. No, let me do
Wait,
some
didn't the
research.
Spurs get their pick?
Oh yeah, they did. I lied. It's pick 4 and 8.
Ooh, they lost their pick. Okay, but regardless, I'm just glad they finally said, "All right, guys, we gotta let this go." That's why
Yeah.
I gave them a positive. Like they finally just stop banking on.
I could
Look,
have
y'all want to
sworn they
chip?
had a first.
Maybe it's a later pick.
Okay, that's probably right then. 'Cause I
Um,
say I know they have one.
I think it might be the Pacers pick or some. I
Okay,
don't
that
know,
that makes sense.
something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
regardless, you finally traded away those guys. It was long overdue, honestly speaking. So
Mhm.
I think that's a positive. And my biggest positive, look, Scotty Barnes, bro. Like, I know people. he's not beating the allegations. God forbid, bro has a little bit of personality, man.
Yeah,
My goodness.
actually.
But I think they're taking steps in the right direction for
Mhm.
sure. So we both agree on the C.
Yeah, I agree on the C.
Okay. I'm gonna actually let you're picking the next team, of course,
Yeah.
but I had to turn my light on real quick, so just go ahead and
I'm not gonna lie, Everton. I didn't want to bring it up. I was thinking about it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
look at myself and I'm like, damn, let me turn this light on. So you can go ahead and start what you're saying. I'll just pick up when I come back.
Okay, so to cut us some slack so this segment doesn't go on for too long, we're just gonna speed run all the dog shit teams because there's a couple Fs that are going to be here, and I think Everton's not
Yeah,
going
go
to
ahead.
disagree on this. Hold on, he's about to sit down, so I'll let him come back. Yeah, so Everton, we're gonna just speed run through the dog crap teams real quick,
Oh,
get a couple Fs out of the way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The okay, cool.
Pistons, F. How many times have
F.
we? Yeah, F. Your team sucks with how it's built, and it's not going to get
Yeah.
any better. F.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Washington
F.
Wizards. You guys don't even
F.
deserve an F. You guys deserve lower.
Low key.
Charlotte
G
Hornets,
League.
F. Yeah. Yeah,
Hornets,
Hornets,
F.
F.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another F. And then Hawks and Bulls. We can have a little more discussion with those, I feel like. I want to give the Bulls an
So
F as a Bulls
those
fan.
that's why I was kind of saving the Bulls. That's why I was waiting to see if you were gonna pick them.
Mm.
But we have four teams left that I feel like we could have a little bit more discussion, except for one of them. I feel like one of them is clear cut, like, we can grade them correctly. Um, so let's start off with let's go New York. Why not
Yeah.
get the Knicks out the way,
Yeah, let's get the
man?
clear cut one out of the way. I think this is an
Yeah.
A.
Yeah, that's what I gave him too.
It really could have been an S because they should have made the Eastern Conference Finals. But injuries are injuries. But you made all the right moves. All your signings, like Dante was incredible. Jalen
Mm-hmm.
Brunson is a legit star and is on the
Mm-hmm.
brink of being a top 10 player in the NBA.
Yeah.
They're awesome. And they still have cap space to work with. They have draft capital to work with. They're gonna be so good next season.
Donovan Mitchell.
The Knicks took so many good steps this season. It's going to be an A. Can't be an S
Yeah.
just because you're one game away from being there, but this is an easy A.
Yeah, I agree. A is the easy choice. I gotta applaud the Knicks front office for like changing their philosophy
Yeah.
because the Knicks philosophy used to,
S tier for front office.
yes, the trades they made were flawless. They stopped doing that whole thing where it's like we're gonna just sign KD and Kyrie and whatever, right? Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna get them eventually, and then you end up with like Julius Randle and Bobby Portis. So, um, but nonetheless, I think we can both agree easy A for both. Let's move on down. We're gonna go down in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pecking
'Cause
order.
these last three have some debate.
Cavs.
Dude, I don't know how you make it to the second round of the playoffs and get a low grade, but the Cleveland Cavaliers might have found a way to pull it off.
Yeah, I
It's just we gave the Magic an A. How low can we really put the Cavs?
I gave them a C.
I think so, because it's just the team was just there on paper, and
Hmm.
somehow you just could not get it to work for the second season in a row.
I gave them a C because they kind of met my expectations because I saw this team as like a 4 or 5 seed and they literally did that.
Yeah.
So and they got to the second round. That's kind of like around what I would have expected. So
Mhm.
from that point of view, I guess it kind of just has to be a C,
Yeah.
right?
I know we're not doing like C minuses and all that, but I think it's as low as a C as
Mm,
tiers it's going to get. Just
yeah,
because like yeah, you get to second seat the second round, that's cool and all. But
yeah.
you literally know this team's getting blown up this offseason. So it's kind of hard to like see that as a positive. Like
True.
this team is literally blowing up, but I will give it a C as well.
I'll give it a C because they're a 4 seed and but that's the only kind of like I guess positives. But this
Mm.
team, ugh, yeah. Let's move on. Chicago Bulls.
C for continuity. It's just sad. I mean,
That was actually so good.
thank you. In the front office's eyes, it's an A. You're still number one in attendance.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
making money. Life's
We have to
good.
stop going to Bulls games, guys. We got
I
to
don't
get
go to
stop
Bulls
going.
games. Hilarious. Catch me at the Chicago Sky games, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's just this Bulls team's just so embarrassing. But it's just sad because like you want to give them a lower grade, but this is literally what they're chasing for. Like if as long as they're doing attendance and are still trying to like I saw a quote on Barstool where they pulled this quote from the Bulls GM where he just
Mm-hmm.
says his goal is come the end of the season, all those games matters and people want to come to
Um,
games.
yeah, yeah.
So this is what they want. They want to be a middle of the pack team, whereas like they're fighting till the end because people are gonna want to see if they make it or not, keep attending games. So it's really an A in their eyes.
That is actually
That's awful. That's our owner. Go Bulls.
anyways. I gave what did you give them actually? You gave them a C?
D.
Okay. Yeah, I gave them a D. Like honestly, I didn't expect much. So
Yeah.
I almost gave them a C because I didn't even expect much. And
Yeah.
they literally did exactly what I thought they do.
That is true.
Like literally just be a playing team.
Mhm.
The only reason why I gave them a C, partially also, Kobe White. Kobe White taking a jump, that's one of the positives. I think so.
That's a massive
So,
positive.
right? So,
And
well,
okay, I'm gonna give him a C because like Io DeSumo also took a jump.
that too. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Demar's still a really good player.
Just don't give him 40 million or some shit. Don't do that.
Please let him
Don't do that.
walk. It better be a sign and trade if it's anything.
Yeah. Let the Lakers or Clippers make some sign and trade with
Yeah.
us. Just don't. It's we love you, DeMar,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's just not.
Yeah. All I'm saying is it's an A plus if these Donovan Clingan rumors are true.
Hey, I did see that.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
did
sure if you
see.
guys
Well,
saw
you're the
this,
one that
but
sent it to
yeah.
me.
Apparently the Bulls are interested in trading for Donovan Clingan. And if we trade pick 11 and Vooch to trade up for Clingan, I'm not even joking. I will cry on the podcast. Like literally, I forgot what day the draft is, but I will cry on air. I'm so serious. It will be the best day of my life.
Hey, tears of joy. Tears of joy. Hey,
Yo,
Kling and Cooper
yeah,
Flag don't sound too bad.
Everton, low-key, I have an idea. I know I should
What's
bring
up?
something air, but maybe we could tease this up for like in a future 5 out episode.
What's up?
For one of our podcasts, do you want us to do a live reaction to the draft?
I would definitely. Yeah,
I say
yeah,
that
yeah.
we won't even do 5 segments. We'll just react to the draft.
Hey, hey, look out for that, y'all. Look
Yeah,
out for that.
draft
Yeah,
day. I'll upload literally the same day. That's what we're gonna do.
yeah. Okay, bet.
Yeah, lock
We
in,
locked it in
lock
right
in.
now.
Yeah, fire.
Okay. So we both agree we'll give the Bulls a C
Yeah.
because they just did exactly what we expected.
Mhm.
Let's move on to the last team of the East, the Atlanta Hawks.
Now this is a D
Yeah, I
because the
gave them a
Atlanta
D as
Hawks
well.
have higher expectations than the Bulls do,
hmm
and this team stunk the bed.
Dude,
I mean,
36 and 40. Oh my gosh.
this team did get hit with injuries. I'm not gonna lie,
Trey Young,
but yeah,
yeah.
Trae Young and Dejounte Murray just continue to not to work.
Mm.
You have some of the most mid players to ever grace the game of the NBA. I'm not even just saying trash. Is like the definition of mid, like DeAndre
Mid.
Hunter, Clint Capella, mid.
Mid. Sadiq
2024
Bey, mid.
2024 Clint Capella at least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Houston
yeah,
Rockets Clint
for
Capella
sure.
was cool.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
In 2K,
but yeah,
go ahead and lob that up. He's dunking it every time.
yeah,
But
but
this is a D. This
Jalen
is a D.
Johnson.
That is a positive. I will say
That's the only reason they're a D.
that's a positive because it probably could have been an F. But Jalen
Mm.
Johnson, what was he in the most improved? Was he in? He was in like third,
No,
right?
I think he missed out of it because of injury.
Oh, he did. But he would have been in the race. He wouldn't have won
He
it.
would have been top three.
Yeah, top three behind. Well, one should have been Kobe and two should have been Tyrese
Yeah,
Maxey.
yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, Jalen Johnson, that's a very big positive for them.
Mm.
But outside of him, I mean, Trae
Yeah.
Young was an all-star again this year, and he had a great season.
Okay,
He
but
just,
hold on. Low key though, Everton.
yeah.
They did get the number 1 pick though. Does that have to impact this at all?
Ooh,
Because that changes a lot.
ooh, oh,
I
damn.
know they kind of lucked in this, but that I feel like that should take factor into
That
this.
that's a great point. That might be a C then,
I
just
think it
because they
has to be a
got the
C.
number one
Yeah,
pick.
they somehow tanked.
Like the season itself was terrible, but they capital
It somehow worked out.
Loki.
Now
We'll do C.
we talked Mickey Mouse S for the Pacers. Is this a Mickey Mouse C right now?
This is Mickey Mouse. This is definitely Mickey Mouse. But like it kind of has to be a C though.
Yeah,
Like whatever grade we were gonna give them originally has to go up because they got the number one pick.
yeah,
That's a great
exactly.
shout.
Yeah, because like you look at like the teams like the Wizards and Pistons who were like purposely tanking, and they couldn't even do like the Hawks did.
They could even do damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, Loki, that's a C.
yeah. So that's a C. Let's lock it in, and then Everton
Okay.
run down our tier list of the East.
All right, so we have two S tier teams, and that was one solidified, Indiana Pacers. The other one, Boston Celtics, is a hit or miss. I'll say S for now, just
Yeah.
because it's a great season. So two S tier teams, Boston and Indiana. A tier teams feature the New York Knicks, the Orlando Magic, and that is it. Actually, there there actually was no B teams, which I think that says a lot about the East. Let's be
Yeah, it
honest.
does. 100%.
And then let's all go ahead and lock in for these C's. The Cleveland Cavaliers were a C tier. The Sixers were a C tier. The Bulls were a C tier. Hawks and Raptors. Wow. And
Yeah.
then the Bucks. The Bucks were this D tier featured the Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat, and that's it. And then the rest are F featuring the Brooklyn Nets, Charlotte Hornets, Washington Wizards, and Detroit Pistons. And that is your East
Yeah.
team tier list. East tier list.
I like that
Wow.
list. I don't think
The
there's anything I would change.
No, honestly, nothing at all. The
That's
East is
crazy.
just
There's no B's.
it says a lot about the East,
Yeah,
honestly. Just
it
mid.
does.
But we had to do the East first to get the kind of mid out the way. Let's go to
Hmm.
the exciting Western Conference. Like
Hmm.
the West, it's always gonna just shit on the East. Let's be honest. It's always
Yeah,
gonna just shit on the East. Simple
it
as
is.
that. So yeah, like we just did with the East, we're kind of just gonna float around, pick
Mhm.
which teams we want to put in each tier. Y'all saw if you watched the East part, you saw what we did with the East.
Yes.
So Western Conference, let's just jump right in. Did you start with the East or did I start?
I started because I wanted what's straight into the Celtics.
Okay, so I'll start. And like I said, we're gonna jump around. I want to start with the Clippers. I know it's a weird shout, but I kind of want to
Uh,
see what you think about the Clippers.
Now this would be the first B I'd hand out this episode.
That's what I gave. Man, you
Yes.
locked
We
in. I
we we
gave him a
click we
B
click like
too
that. It's
every
just
time.
the season was a lot all over the place. Like you had some
Mm,
extreme highs and extreme lows,
yeah.
but you're still a fun team to watch. You still were competitive that first round in the playoffs, and
Mm,
you're still going to be selling tickets next year like you want to.
yeah.
Had some highs. Kawhi Leonard, you got a full season out of. Who thought we would have seen the day?
Yeah.
James
I know.
Harden didn't regress.
Hmm.
Paul George unfortunately exists on your team. I have to knock you for that one. But the Clippers, this team was a lot of fun this year. It's just like injuries kind of happened at the wrong time, and it was still
Mm,
competitive enough to be a B. You can't give this team C tier because like would say they somewhat experience because like dude, for how bad the Clippers history is, I did not have high expectations. So the fact that like
no.
they didn't just completely like weren't like the fact they weren't in the play-in exceeded my expectations. So I would confidently give them a B.
Yeah, I gave him a B. Like, I can't give a 51 win team like a C, especially in the circumstance of the Clippers. Remember when they traded for Harden and they went like 0 and 5, and people like, yeah, they're done, they're good.
Yeah.
And look at them now. Yeah, Loki, I was a bit
Guilty.
suspect too. I was kind of suspect too. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But I think them getting 51 wins, and I remember that there was that run where these dudes were like 18-2 at one point. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I predicted them to go to the finals.
oh, you did.
Yeah, dude, I
Yeah.
was so bipolar with this team this year. I feel so bad.
It was I don't trust the Clippers ever. So that's why I
Yeah.
didn't really I was like, they're cool,
Mm.
but I can't. With Kawhi, you got a full season out of Kawhi, and then Kawhi pulled a Kawhi. Uh PG played most of the season as well, but yeah. James Harden, he didn't take his he didn't regress. He actually was
Mhm.
pretty solid in his role. I think it was one of the better, like just solid seasons from James Harden. Russ pre-playoffs was actually doing some solid work for the Clippers. In the playoffs, oh,
Mhm.
it was bad. I won't lie, it was bad. But nonetheless, the Clippers, they have an interesting offseason coming up. But I think all around this season was just a flat out B for them.
Yeah.
Solid
Yeah.
B.
Let's lock in on that. I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
So can I get an easy S out of the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, that's an
You
easy
even made
one.
the NBA Finals for the first time since what, 2011?
Yep, 2011. Yep.
Yeah, and you needed to make some trades to build around Luca. You finally did it. And
Hmm.
oh, you give Luca some athletes and suddenly we're in the finals. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy S right there.
Yeah, so we're just gonna get that one out of the way. Easy
Easy
S.
one. I don't even know if there's much we have to say that we didn't say
No.
in the first segment. So
Yeah. Go back
easy
to it
S
if you didn't
here.
listen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
Go
on the
check it
YouTube
out.
channel, guys.
Check it out. So Mavericks easy S. I want to do another easy S. Maybe it's not an easy S for you, but
Huh.
I think the Timberwolves are an S tier for me.
Yes, I
Okay,
agree.
cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because dude, oh, expectations. I was not high on the Timberwolves heading the
Mm,
season, especially after how last season went.
mm-mm.
Man, I was proven wrong. I'm not afraid to admit when I was wrong.
Yeah, same here.
I was wrong about the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Same. I was
This team
definitely
was
wrong.
so competitive till the Western Conference Finals, but I did not
Yeah.
even think they were going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. And the fact they were
No.
a number one seed for a lot of the season as well, I think says a lot about this team.
Mm.
Anthony Edwards continues to be a star. The
Yeah.
Cat Gobert pairing was working, and you have
Yeah.
so many defensive threats as well on this team. This team's
Mm.
exciting.
They are definitely and they got a bright future because their
Mhm.
team could stay relatively the same. They might need to
Yeah,
improve some things, but I think they're
yeah.
like in a great spot. So
It,
I think S
yeah.
is easy for
Isn't it
me.
crazy that Mike Conley's like 85 and he still might run it back next season?
I know, right, bro? Bro, didn't he say like, "Hey, we got to win this one because I
Yeah,
ain't got too much time
yeah.
left."
But dude, I know not to go on a Mike Conley like side tangent, but he pooped. He was incredible in the Western Conference
Yeah, yeah.
Finals.
Shout out to Mike Conley, bro. One of the dudes who in 10 years, I don't know how many people are gonna remember Mike Conley that aren't like nerds, you know.
They don't know how good Mike
They
Conley
don't
was. Oh
know,
my
like
God.
Grizzlies Mike Conley. They don't
Dude,
know.
great and
They don't
grind
know.
Grizzlies, man. They'll never know. They'll never know.
Oh man, I'll be honest. People who know me, I used to hate the Grizzlies,
Yeah, I
but
wonder why.
you know why.
Yeah.
I was an OKC fan. They knocked us out of the playoffs, and I honestly thought they were boring. But as
Mm.
I've learned more, I actually really like that
Yeah.
Grit and Grind Grizzlies team. And I mean,
Yeah.
you
I mean,
can't act like Ja don't have. Hey, Ja got
I got
aura,
aura. He does.
aura.
And just for the 5 out listeners that don't know, the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies is my favorite, not Chicago Bulls team. Just fun fact of the day. So I
Ooh,
mess with that team heavy.
okay, I
I
respect
love
that.
Zach Randolph. I love Tony Allen. I
Oh
love Mike
man,
Conley. Yeah, those are my
yeah.
guys.
That's the thing. I loved the players. I just did not resonate with the style. But
Yeah,
after a while, I definitely resonate. I love the Green Grand Grizzlies.
of
I respect it. Okay, so we
course.
got the two S's. We got some S's out the way.
I think we can do another S.
Okay.
I think I can say this is the final S, but the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I was
We're
torn.
not supposed to be this good. And I know like you're like a Thunder fan, so you want to put your bias into it. I'm
Mhm.
gonna let you put your bias into it because it's an S.
Okay,
You took
I
so
was
many
torn.
massive leaps. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a number one seed, and like your average age is like 14 years old. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, no, it's just Oklahoma City Thunder season is a massive success. Shea, some people argue like Shaq that he should have been MVP. Like that's huge. Jalen Williams continued to get better every single month until the playoffs.
Yeah.
At Holmgren was a rookie of the year contender. Probably would have won it
Yeah.
any other year. Victor Wembanyama didn't exist.
Yeah.
Your role players are still incredible. And you
Hmm.
have the best owner in the NBA who can own up to his mistakes like I can own up to mine.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
that Gordon Hayward quote is the funniest
that
thing
is
I've
so
ever seen
funny.
an owner say.
He said, "Hey, that's on me." Damn, you just said I shouldn't have done that. Why did I trade for that bum? Damn.
He's still technically on the team.
He is exactly. Well, technically he's about to be free
Yeah,
agent, but regardless, that was a crazy quote though. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. I was torn between an A and an S, but I went S because like, come on, I
It's
didn't
an
want to
S.
say S. I wanted you to say it to be
Yeah,
honest, because I'm like, oh, I'm a Thunder fan. They're gonna
yeah.
say I'm a Thunder fan, but like 57 wins in one of the toughest West Conferences ever. Let's be
Yeah,
honest, this is one of the toughest West Conferences, and we still able to get the one seed.
absolutely.
Shea became an MVP candidate. Should have finished third. Not gonna lie.
Hmm.
But regardless, Aura man, look, the Aura stuff with Shea is so funny to me, bro. Every time I see a post, the comments are, I saw the Aura 15 scrolls away. Oh my gosh. But there was a lot of positives. Like Shea was a great. Chet did exactly what we wanted. He came in as a rookie after missing all of last season and was second or third best player, depending on who you ask.
Hmm.
The defensively was great. J Dub took another leap and, like you said, improved every month except the playoffs, which kind of sucks like the most important time. But he's a second year player. I'm not gonna hold that over him.
Hmm.
Case and Wallace, great pick, phenomenal pick. Lou Dort had a solid season, and our bench guys like Isaiah Joe, like it was a great season. I think all around. Our coach of the year, shout out to coach of the year, right? He run coach of the year, great. Sam Presti, who is our GM actually, not owner, but GM. Um, again, he I think the other thing is we have a lot of picks, but
Yeah.
please trade some of those picks. We do not need a bunch of those picks. Make some
Hmm.
moves. But regardless, I think it's S tier. There's one guy I did not name, and that's because his season wasn't good. Not because
Yeah.
of what he's done or what. Let me not say that.
Yeah.
But Josh
And,
Giddey, yeah,
yeah. And
we'll
for
leave that out.
to quote Magic Johnson in one of my favorite memes, I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah,
You're not gonna be
basically,
here next season, Josh
I'm
Giddey.
not gonna be here.
Yeah, you're
Oh
gone.
yeah, yeah. Those are. I think. Do you think that's the last S? I feel like that's probably the last.
No, that's 100% the last S.
Yeah. That's the last S. Because the other team that was good, they're not in S tier.
Yeah.
But we'll
We got some
save that.
we got some hating coming on the way, I feel like.
I feel
I
like
feel like it's downhill from here.
it low key does. Let's all the positivity was there.
Mm.
Let's get one of that's not really hate and kind of just unfortunate. Let's go Memphis.
I almost want to put him like an INC. Like I feel like they skipped out on school this year.
I literally put I for injury.
Can we do
For
that?
injury. Like we'll just put them in I.
Yeah,
Like
because like you can't
injury,
say they
just
failed. Like they just didn't show
nah.
up this year. Like
And they got a good pick.
yeah, they got a good pick. We're gonna give him an I though, because like you had no players the whole season,
Literally, how many people play for the Grizzlies this year, bro? Like 30?
dude.
I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't you audition?
I was gonna say, didn't we played one of those games, bro?
Yeah,
Like, oh my gosh, this team had so many injuries. I cannot say anything bad. I can't just be like, oh, it's terrible. No,
Yeah.
injury for the Grizzlies. Let's get that
Mhm.
out the way. Injury for the
Yeah, I
Grizzlies.
agree.
Um, so now that we got that out the way,
Let's
let's
hate. Let's
do
fucking
it.
hate.
Suns.
Dude, I know not my expectations, but we're going off what everybody else's expectations are.
Yes.
F.
Yes.
This is an
Yeah.
F.
To
People
the
really
pe
thought this team was going to the finals.
Bro, for the people who said this team was a finals, that's an F. For me, it's a C because I didn't expect anything from
Yeah.
this team,
Yeah.
honestly.
Uh,
But for the grander scheme, should we say D or F? What you think?
F.
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 All right, cool. Because
Yeah, you made it to the playoffs. Cool. You got mollywopped.
swept,
Yeah,
broomed off
swept.
the court.
No,
Yeah,
nothing competitive at all. And there was just glaring holes the whole season. It was up and down.
yeah.
This is an F. I don't care.
Why did people think that? You know what? Yeah. For
The super
for
team
people
era
who
is done.
done. For the people who don't can't tell, me and Joey would have given this team like a C because of
Yeah.
our expectations, because we didn't expect anything of his team. But
Mhm.
because of people who are like, they're title favorites for sure. F for sure.
F.
F.
Let's just keep the Fs going. The Golden State Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is an F.
Well,
No, it's an F.
okay, no. Here's the thing. Unless you were seeing stuff, I didn't really see too many people have a lot of expectations for this team, anyways, because they didn't make any moves.
I mean, but they had Steph Curry though.
I know they had Steph,
You're supposed to compete with Steph. And this
but
team,
last
like,
year they
no,
they
but like
this,
not like to just make the play in as the Golden State Warriors and you got killed. Klay
I'll go
Thompson
D.
took the bit. We're gonna disagree, but since Everton is the host for today,
You know what?
he can make the final
Actually,
call.
you know what? I'm going F. Here's why I'm going F.
Okay.
When we did a team breakdown and people killed us in those comments, ease up. It's an F.
Yeah, where y'all at?
It's
Dude,
an F.
the Warriors won 4 games after that, and they thought that we were the biggest
Dude, they're
goofies
the
of all
best team
time.
in the West. It's an F,
It's an F,
buddy.
yeah.
Shout out to y'all though. We love y'all. We love y'all. But it's an F. It's
Yeah,
an F.
F.
Because of that. Strictly because of
I like that. Um, you want to just knock out some of these lower teams real quick?
Let's get the Jazz out of here.
F.
I almost gave the Jazz like an NA because just
Yeah,
don't
an
care. I honestly
IDC.
don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Can we just say DC? I don't care about the Jazz, dude.
We're
I
just not
don't
even give
care.
them a grade.
Just don't care.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm
That's
still not gonna care next season.
I'm not either. Yeah, I don't care about the Jazz, dude.
The most irrelevant team
Spurs.
in the world.
Spurs. Okay.
Got Wembanyama.
That's why I gave them low key a D.
Yeah,
Like I
I
almost gave
agree.
them a C. Like
Okay, I feel like a C's us glazing too hard.
too high. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Say C's too high because you still won 22 games, buddy.
Yeah.
You kind of still suck. But
Mm.
Wemby makes his team not an F. Because
Yeah.
well, you know, here's the thing,
And
right?
you got picks 4 and 8.
Here's the thing. You got picks 4 and 8. Nobody expected this team to even be good. And they
Mm.
did that. They were bad. And they even tried to tank. So that made it even worse.
Yeah.
Wemby lived up to the generational expectations we expected from him.
Mm.
And I feel like for that reason, you could almost say C because they did exactly what we wanted. And we saw Wemby be even better than people expected.
Maybe that's not glazed. You might be, I think you might be cooking. No, Everton, you agree to my F, so I'm gonna agree to your C. I like that.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like we expected them to be ass and they were just ass.
Yeah.
But Wemby was really good. And that's
Yeah,
all we
that's what the expectations were.
that's all we wanted to see. So I feel like that's C worthy just because of that.
Yeah, I like that. Let's get another
Blazers
F.
though.
Let's get another F of the Portland Trail Blazers.
Blazers, F.
I know
Yeah,
I didn't have expectations, but you guys were worse than the Spurs.
that's what I'm saying. I was like, were the Spurs in the same conversations with the Pistons at one
Yeah,
point?
they
Like,
were.
come on, like, and you still finished with the worst record.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing:
And they were better than the Spurs on paper, no question.
they had some players. Aiden was supposed to be cool. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, he was cool inside his house when he didn't want to leave that ice storm.
That will forever be one of the funniest. That's the most DeAndre Aiden headline I've ever seen. And then him being on American Dad. Okay. Jeremy Grant, he's cool, I guess. Anthony
Yeah.
Simons. I actually like Anthony Simons.
I do. He's
But
gotta get out of Portland.
yeah, I was gonna say he needs to get him out of here. Shaden Sharp, just gotta see more of him. He didn't play a
Yeah.
lot this year. So
Mm.
but here's the big thing why they're an F for me. Because I didn't expect much from them, but I expected Scoot to at least look good.
Yeah.
Scoot had some moments. I won't act like he was just ass the whole year, but
There's a lot more ass.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Anthony Edwards watching the Nicki Minaj video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, yeah,
Your ass,
literally.
like,
Your ass. I mean,
yeah.
like, your nickname can't be Toot Henderson, and I can't give your team an F. Like, it
Yeah.
just can't. I still have a lot of high hopes for Scoot, but I cannot. I say this all the time. I cannot brush past those people who said Scoot's a better prospect than Wemby.
Yeah.
Shut up. He's not. Okay. I don't know why y'all thought that.
Yeah.
So with that in
Ridiculous.
mind, it's an F. And Chauncey Billups, you go look up and go on Indeed, my guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get the rest of these playing in before we get the last playoff team. Or excuse me, we still got the Houston Rockets first.
Yeah.
Um, C, B,
I give him a B
I'm B.
because like
Yeah. Sengun ended up being an all-star. Jalen Green took that heroic leap you were looking for. All your young
of
guys
course.
continue to get better,
Hmm.
and you still have picks to work with this all. Like you got the number 3 pick.
Hmm. Yeah. I say A. Oh, not A, sorry. A B. If they would have made the playoffs or the play-in, I might have even gave them an A
Yeah.
just because of that. But then missing out might push them
Yeah.
back just to a B.
And dude, they
But
make the play in any other year. They want 500.
yeah, exactly. Maybe even no in the East. In the East, they would have made a play-in. But of course, the East is ass.
Yeah.
But all their young players looked great this year. Jalen Green took a little too long to start playing good, but he
Hmm.
played good in the later half, and this is why you're like, oh, man, this is why we picked this guy number two. Um, and we might be talking about Jalen Green at some point this episode. Anyways,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, like the rest of their team, like they're young. Cam Whitmore, that was a great pick. I don't even know how he fell to y'all, but he fell
Yeah.
to y'all, and y'all capitalized. He looked great. Sengun was a borderline All Star this year. Even the free agent signings, Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet were actually pretty solid signings as well. Ime was a good head coach pickup. They
Mhm.
made a lot of the right moves, and they almost capitalized, made the playoffs off or playing off for that. I got to them flowers for that, but I can't say A yet, but I'd say B for sure.
Yeah. We'll lock it on B. But
Lock in on B.
I said this is probably the fourth podcast and Rob said it. I got some Houston Rockets stock next
I was gonna
season,
say
though.
we
I'm
we put some
excited.
stock on them,
Yeah,
bro.
we are excited for those boys.
For sure, for sure.
So that's going to leave us with one, two, 4 teams. Is that correct?
One, two, three. I think three, unless I'm literally blind.
What is it? Is it not? Oh, maybe spoiler. Nuggets, Lakers, Pelicans, Kings.
Oh, it is four. I didn't see the Pelicans right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's four.
All right. So I want to say the Nuggets for last because I think that's the most controversial one that we can talk about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So who do you want to pick out of those three? Let's get the playing out of the way.
Let's go Lakers because they're also very controversial. But
I feel like it's a C
that's what I gave them a
because like you,
C.
you did win the in-season tournament. That's a plus.
Yeah, it is. I can't act like
Hey,
it's not.
yeah, we can't slander the in-season tournament. So they did get some silverware,
Hmm.
but this team's just a crap show.
Here, the thing is, right, and why I almost want to lower them, yo, the amount of people who said the Lakers had the best offseason.
Yeah, I do be forgetting that happened.
There's so many people like the Lakers had the best offseason. They're about to be a title contender. This team was in the play-in. Now I get it. The West was actually a bit more stacked than we anticipated. But dude, for y'all to have the so-called best offseason,
Mhm.
can I gave
I
them a C,
I
but
I have to value the in-season. If the in-season tournament didn't exist, it would be a D.
because we gave the Pacers some love for the in-season
Yeah.
tournament, just making the final. And you know what? Here's the other thing. AD, look, I might people say I don't know if people, but I've been saying AD is like a top six player. Maybe that's too push, but
Mhm.
AD's been really good this year, and he played a lot of this year. LeBron played a majority of this season. Well, if you can get a season with those two play a good amount, that's a
Mhm.
plus. It's just about the rest of the team that
Yeah.
steps
The
up.
team.
But
Yeah.
you got a mostly healthy LeBron and AD year.
Mhm.
That's a plus in my eyes. So I guess we'll roll with C then.
Yeah. I'm rocking with a C there. But the lowest out of the play I'm gonna give is the Sacramento Kings. I'm giving this team a D.
Yeah, it's hard not to like. I the Kings just didn't do anything. Like you had that great season last year. You said, "Bet, let's not do anything."
Yeah.
Why? Like
Yeah.
you saw what worked. Cool. Let's add some pieces.
Mhm.
Nah, they could have got Pascal Siakam from what I heard. They said, "Cool,
Nah.
cool." Nah, I'll pass. Look where that got you. Look where that got you. And then, oh, go ahead. Actually, I
Oh,
feel
I
you're about to
wasn't
say
gonna say
something.
anything.
Oh, okay. And the other thing for me, your whole thing was having this high-powered offense. You're mid.
Yeah.
Their offense was mid this year.
Mhm.
Like their whole thing was, Yeah, we don't play a lot of defense, but we have the best offense. Trust
Yeah.
me, it's offense. This year, we're
Mhm.
pretty mid on offense, and you already knew we couldn't play defense.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so bad.
so it's so bad. So
Yeah, and the
from
fact
that,
that Indiana Pacers stole their whole flow and did it 100 times better.
because they actually got further in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has to be a D from that standpoint because they didn't really
Mhm.
improve. They kind of just
No, they got
stayed the
worse. They did
same.
not improve.
Exactly. So
And they're
it's
gonna
got
lose
to be a
Malik
D.
Monk this offseason too.
Yeah, and
And they're
no
gonna make
awards
no
for
they're gonna
them.
make no additions.
They if they go another year with no additions, they just deserve to be the Kings again, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I told you guys to take some stock out of this team for a reason. That's all I'm saying. This is a
Low
D.
key. All right, and the last team is New Orleans. Um, I was so torn with this team, man.
I want to give a B
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
because
do
I
too.
really feel like they could have been more competitive in the playoffs with Zion.
If he didn't get hurt in
Yeah.
literally the playing game.
Because Zion showed a lot of progress this season. Herb
Hmm.
Jones and Trey Murphy have proven
Oh my
that these are
goodness.
like going to be elite role players. And me and Everton talk about how important it is to have role players in these playoffs. So they
Hmm.
got their guys. It's just there's still some improvements that need to be made. But Willie Green has also shown he's an incredible coach.
Yeah, that's
So I
for
think this
yeah.
season's still a plus for the Pelicans.
Yeah. Um, I mean, they won 49 games. They're damn near a 50 win team. Like
Mhm.
if they would have won one more game, this team would have been the sixth seed and been clear of the play-in.
Mhm.
And Lord knows that means they wouldn't have Zion wouldn't have played a playing game and probably would have played it because I just realized this. Zion's never played a playoff game. That's insane.
That's sad.
That's insane. But um can we give a team that got swept in the first round a B though?
But like we
The
can't.
context is there. I
Yeah,
know.
I think there has to be some context involved.
Well, we'll go with a B.
Yeah, we haven't given it a lot of B's anyways.
In this season, it's just the Pelicans can never get lucky, I guess you could
No.
say. Yeah, I'll roll with a B. I'll roll with a B.
Now this is where it's gonna get controversial because I just gave the Pelicans a B, and I want to give the Nuggets a lower grade. It's just expectations have to matter,
Yeah.
and me, Everton, all of the media, every fan of the
Everybody.
NBA, we
Everybody,
built
bro.
the Denver Nuggets to be these unbeatable team. They didn't look fantastic against the Lakers,
Nah.
and then the Timberwolves had their way with them. Jamal Murray didn't show up. Michael Porter Jr. didn't show up. Aaron Gordon didn't show up. The bench didn't show up. Jokic was the only one that showed up. I feel like with what I mean, yeah, 57 wins is nice and all, but it doesn't matter if you don't win. That's why I feel this way about the Celtics. I feel the same exact way about the Denver Nuggets. Your expectations were just so much higher than everybody else's, and you did not deliver.
Okay. I'm gonna say some stuff and then we'll kind of figure out a grade.
Okay.
So for the Nuggets, right? I know we've been talking about aura man. This is aura team. Like this
Mm,
team is just aura team. Like, and they still got 57 wins. This team almost was the one seed. Like,
mm,
and I can't and Jokic won MVP, blah, blah, blah. So from that standpoint, we're talking about a team that we felt like was coasting all year and still was 57 win team. Um, and then against the Lakers, I was like, what's going on here? Why
mm.
are y'all like having a comeback in every game? And
Yeah.
honestly, like the Lakers are just like, let's just shoot ourselves in the foot,
Yeah.
basically, like
Yeah, pretty
literally.
much.
But pretty much, they squeezed past the Lakers because the Lakers are like, we could win this series. Let's not though.
Mhm.
You go up against Minnesota, who a team you actually had a tough series against last year, but you low key swept them or 1-5, but it was a tough 5 series. And it took you to 7. You're up by 20 and a half and said, all right, cool. Let's let them have it, though. They got it.
Mm.
And now you're a second round exit. This is a team that everybody was like, guaranteed they're in the finals. Like, they're in the finals. We already know that, guys. Western Conference, wrap it up. Nuggets are there in the finals. Whoever is it going to be Milwaukee or Boston against the Nuggets? That's how everybody was about this season,
Mhm.
basically. Um, so it's hard to give them anything higher than like a B, to be honest,
Mhm.
just because of those things. But I can't act like a Jokic MVP along with a 57 win team isn't still somewhat like wow.
Hmm.
Mm, this is tough. So what would you go with?
After your reasoning, I think I do a B
Okay.
because like yeah, it is 57 wins. It's just those expectations, man, were just brutal.
Yeah, it's maybe it's on us for
Yeah.
like just giving them so much aura. Like we just all collectively like, yeah, that's them. They got it.
Yeah,
And
it's
here's the
gonna
other
be them
thing.
Celtics.
Here's the other thing, right? For the Nuggets, I have to get two things. One, they did lose some important role players. Jeff Green, Bruce Brown. And as we've seen, role players
Mm.
are actually really important.
Yeah.
Like when they left, I'm like, role players, they can replace that. Role players are really important. Honestly, really important.
Mm.
So that obviously might have taken them down a little bit. And then obviously some of those Jamal Murray was not really that healthy. Let's be honest. He wasn't like
Yeah.
100%. And
But Luka Doncic hasn't been 100% this whole playoffs.
are we really gonna do the same thing for Luka with Jamal, bro? Well, you
I
know
am.
what? Jamal's a playoff riser, so you know what?
I am.
That's
I
true.
am. I'm that guy. I'm gonna do that.
I am mad at that. But yeah, they lost some depth. And then oh, I literally had another point and I just completely blanked on it.
Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., coaching, um,
Damn. I blanked. I completely just blanked.
that's the
Wow.
worst. I know you're gonna remember again
That
in the
is the
next
absolute
segment
worst.
too.
I literally, damn. It's fine. But all in all, they they lost some depth. And as we've seen, role players are really, really important. So I'll give them a B,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think a B is fair because I can't say a 57 win team who went to seven with in the second round is
Mhm.
automatically like a C or a D.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
still
D
a
would be
B level.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, I
we'll
say
go B.
B. Okay.
All right, you want to lock in this list, Everton?
Yep. All right.
And
So list
I'm
is
gonna
locked in.
refill my water while you do it because my
Okay.
throat
Yeah.
is killing me.
Yeah. You're good, bro.
Appreciate it.
Okay. So in the S tier, we had three teams. We had the OKC Thunder, we had the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we had the Dallas Mavericks. I feel like those are pretty solid picks. In the A tier, we wow, we actually did not have an A tier team. So as you've noticed in two of these lists, the East had no B tier. The West has no A tier. So move on to B. We had the Denver Nuggets in B tier. We had the Clippers in B tier. We had the Pelicans in B tier, the Houston Rockets, and that is all for B tier. In the C tier, we had the Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. In the D tier, we had the Sacramento Kings, and that's actually it. And then in the F tier, we had the Golden State Warriors, the Trailblazers, and the Suns. And then, of course, I for injury for the Grizzlies, and don't DC for the Jazz because we just don't care. Honestly speaking, me and Joey do not care about the Utah Jazz. So, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty solid tier list. There might be some that y'all are like a little shaky about, but for some of these, it's expectations that the media put. Like the Suns, they're an F because the media thought they were title contenders, but for us, they would have been a C because we expected them to do what they did. So, Joey, guess what?
What's up?
We actually had no A tier teams.
Wow.
So, like I just said, the East had no B tier, the West had
Mm.
no A tier, which I think is kind of interesting to
Yeah.
be honest.
I think it just shows a lot about how competitive the West was, where some people
Yeah,
started knocking each other's down while the East was just a lot easier, that some teams were more able to rise.
yeah,
Wow,
and
that's unique.
I think both conferences have the same amount of F because we have three Fs here,
Mm.
but the difference in Fs is different for East. For the East, if you're an F, you probably were just you just sucked, honestly.
Yeah.
In the West, it's probably because people expected a little too like the Suns. And
Mm.
me and you guys, C.
We knew better.
But the media was like, no, 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 title, F. For the
Yes.
Warriors, you got Steph, bro. But I can agree. Well, you Warriors fans, it's an F. That's
It's
why.
an yeah.
And then the Blazers, we can all agree it's an F. I don't think I have to explain that. So yeah. That's it for the team grades for the East and West. I hope you guys watch both videos. I think it's very, very good videos that are being made right here. But
Hmm.
when you make tier lists, there's a lot of letters, right? It's almost like you're
Yes.
grading them in a
Uh-huh.
way.
Okay.
So if we've been doing this the past few weeks, as we've been going back and looking at drafts and grading the lottery picks in these drafts, so it's another week of doing that. And
Yeah.
last week it did 2022, going on up 2021. So today,
Mhm.
me and Joey are going to be grading the lottery picks from the 2021 draft. Yeah. Would you want to start from the bottom or the top? I think we've only
We
started
we,
from the
we
top.
always we gotta keep starting from the top. If it ain't broke,
Start
don't
from the
fix
top.
it. I'm ready
Yeah.
to
All
hate
right.
later. I'm ready to hate later.
Okay. I like that. All right.
Mm.
Come on.
Yes.
Um.
So we're gonna start off with Cade Cunningham for the
Yeah.
Detroit Pistons.
Mhm.
And this one's tough because I still feel like Cade was the correct pick for the Pistons.
Yeah.
It just has not worked out.
I think I gave it an A
Yeah.
because like it has. I don't really even think it has much to do with him
Mm.
because like we've seen it. Cade is look. He's good, bro. Like
Yeah.
he is actually really good. It's just the team is just so poorly like built, you
Yeah.
know, because Cade's not really a knockdown. Like he can shoot the ball a little bit, but like Cade being damn near your best shooter is a problem. That cannot be a thing. So I don't think I honestly as a player I'd almost give him an A plus, but
Mm.
I think that's too far. We haven't seen enough yet.
Yeah.
But I think A is fair for Cade because he's a phenomenal player. It's just the Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. The player is there, but Cade, as Everton said, cannot be your best shooter, and it is coming to bite the Pistons. Just
yeah.
wait till that shot comes around.
We can't keep doing this to every player that can't shoot, bro.
Yeah. It needs to stop.
One more thing I want to add about Cade too. The Pistons always get like the fifth pick, right? But the one year they get the number one pick, it's Cade. And not to hate on Cade, but if you look at the past four number one picks, that's tough. You didn't get
Yeah,
Ant, you didn't get Paolo, you didn't get Wemby. You got Cade. Man, even though
I'd be
honestly,
pissed.
I'm glad none of those dudes are in Cade's position. Because
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
But
screw
yeah,
that.
both agreed on the A for Cade.
Hmm.
Cool. Jalen, wow, I just blanked. Jalen Green. I almost said Jalen Williams. Jalen Green.
I This is the hardest one to grade because those
Yeah.
highs are so high, but those
Hmm.
lows are low.
Oh man.
I feel like
I
B plus.
I gave him a B because, like you said, the highs are really high, but the lows are man. Like some like those first 2 years for Jalen Green, it was like, what are we
Yeah.
watching? Like this is AAU ball, like Haram ball we're watching right now. And then the start of this season was bad, low key. Like he wasn't that good to
Mm,
start the season. Let's be honest.
no.
And then like, but he's done this in 2 years where like he'll start the season like, and then like he has a really good run to end the year. And then also keep in mind these are some younger players. Like when we keep doing this, we're gonna get to older drafts, so then we can more career. But like these are younger players, so we're gonna potential does have to play a little bit of a role in here.
Yeah,
And I
I
do
agree.
trust Jalen Green's potential a little bit. So I'm gonna go B.
Okay.
What you
I'm
think?
just, I'm still gonna stick my B plus just because that potential is you can argue it's the highest in the draft. Jalen Green's phenomenal. He's at his highs.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
That's
he is
true.
the best player, but that potential is just unreal. And if the
It
Houston Rockets
is.
can keep that going for a full season, we're gonna
Yeah.
have some serious conversations about Jalen Green.
Yeah. For sure.
And
I ain't
he
mad at
he is,
that.
he is a father now.
Yeah. Hey, we saw what happened
Yeah, we
when bros had a kid on the way.
yeah,
Just
with
saying.
incredible hoops. So I'm gonna stick my B plus.
I'm not mad at that. I'm definitely not mad at that. All right. Next up, Cleveland Cavaliers picked Evan Mobley. Um,
This is an A minus
yeah.
because you have a defensive like superstar on this team.
Yeah.
And the offense, it slowly gets better. It's taken its time, but there still has been progressions each season.
Yeah. Hmm.
And now, like, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do without Jared Allen. Like, I think that's a
I
big potential thing we gotta look at as well because they're not gonna be too clunky in the paint. So we
yeah.
could see an even bigger leap from Evan Mobley. But right now,
Yeah.
I'd stick with A minus.
Yeah, A minus. I feel like the potential might even almost bump me up to an A for him because like, yo, if this dude like gets offensive bag, not like tween, but like like just
Not Rudy
somewhere
Gobert.
things literally not Rudy Gobert, right? Because when I watched him in college, bro had a little bit of a handle, not like break you down, but like bro could put the ball on the floor, decent passer, good at getting to the basket. Like I saw something there. I'm like, yo, and the defense was there. My draft comparison for him was like Bam. I was like, this dude could be like kind of like a Bam Adebayo, you know? And if he can get to that type of level and maybe even be better, that's a really good player. So, and like I said, he's not terrible. He's far from terrible. This is a guy who could be all defensive for like the rest of his career. Great defensively. I just think the Jared Allen thing, it's not like it doesn't work, but they're both non-shooters, bro. At some point,
Yeah.
it's just too clunky. So yeah,
Yeah, it just does not work in 2024.
nah,
But
man,
I'm
not at
expecting
all.
a leap for Evan Mobley. I'm
Me
gonna have
too.
a little bit of stock in that man.
Yeah. So we'll go A minus type. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Let's show some love, Everton. Show some love for this next guy.
My guy right here,
Mhm.
Scotty Barnes. I'm not gonna lie, A plus.
It's an A plus. Do we need to elaborate too much on why Scotty Barnes is an A plus? I feel like we shouldn't
No,
have to.
no. If you think he's anything lower than A plus, you might just not like Scotty Barnes. Which
Yeah.
it's hard not to like Scotty Barnes, honestly.
Mm, I
Like,
agree.
yeah, I think A plus is easier. Scotty
Mm.
is so fun to watch. Everything about him is just like you gotta love Scotty Barnes, man.
Uh-huh. You do. You do.
So yeah. Okay. Suggs.
This somehow turned into an A minus
Mm,
because
okay.
this is a
Yeah.
defensive. It's just it's so funny. You did not draft Jalen Suggs to be a defensive
No.
superstar, but you
No.
have one of the best perimeter defenders in the league and one of the best hustlers. And
Mm,
you gotta look at the leap the Orlando Magic made this season. It doesn't happen
mm,
without Jalen Suggs.
no. Yeah, if you would have asked me this last year, I would have said like a C or lower. Honestly,
Yeah.
bro was kind of before this.
Mhm.
My only thing why I was like, do I want to go B plus A minus is it's kind of he literally Jalen Suggs to me is like Marcus Smart. You drafted Marcus Smart to be your guy, and now he's like a super role player defensive guard. Jalen Suggs literally had the same career arc. And I think they're actually their same pick too, which is kind of weird. Whoa.
Mhm.
Anyways, but Jalen Suggs, you didn't draft Jalen Suggs to be some super role player like defensive anchor or whatever. You drafted Jalen Suggs to be your next point guard, you know? So but I can't hinder him for that because he's still a very impactful player. And as we've seen in this new era, you need guys like Jalen Suggs for
Mhm.
sure. So you know what? I'll stick with A minus because
Right.
moving forward, Jalen Suggs is going to be a very important player for not just Orlando, but for any team that would
Yeah.
need a guy like that.
Yeah. And let's say this team signs Malik Monk like I want them to be. Jalen
Mm.
Suggs might be the point guard of the future if that passing can come along.
True, 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 true. That's very true.
Nice.
All right, number 6. Why are you smiling, dude?
I know what pick
jo-
this is.
Josh Giddey, man. Josh Giddey.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
I gave this a C minus. Yeah,
I felt the same exact. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
like he
Because
hasn't been like. Oh, go ahead. Actually,
there's been some like pros where it's like, oh, this
yeah.
is actually looks great.
Hmm.
But the day this draft ended, people this might have been the worst draft pick of all time. Like if you look at ratings right after this draft, this might have been like a Z minus, like not a C, a Z. Like that's how bad
Yeah,
people hate this pick. He had
yeah.
no pros in his strengths. Like nobody liked this guy.
That
But
graphic is
then
so
yeah,
funny.
he was kind of hooping for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
His passing was there. It's like, oh, this player
Hmm.
might be something. No.
Yeah.
And
Last season fooled
you're
me.
not gonna be here next year, Josh Giddey.
Last season fooled me because last year he was putting up like 17, like 6 and 6. I was like, wait, Josh Giddey's good, bro. He's good. And I was hyped going into this year. And then he started the season before all the stuff even happened. He was already looking. I was like, what's going on with Josh Giddey, bro? And then all that stuff came out. I was like, okay. Now, I don't want to say he's beat the allegations, but the things have turned on their head. Let's just say that. But I could tell, bro, that happening was a cloud over this dude the whole year. He was not himself the entire season, bro. Like he just did not want to be. It didn't seem like he wanted to do. And like, remember when he was like, "What do you mean, breathe, breathe?" Remember that on TikTok? That was Josh Giddey.
Wait, what?
I don't even know if remember. You don't remember Josh Giddey on TikTok?
I don't have TikTok. Sorry, guys.
Ah, I
I'm a bit of a
forgot.
boomer.
Ah, damn, I forgot. Well, okay. Josh Giddey was like big on TikTok for doing this sound that Drake. Oh, never mind. But like Josh Giddey used to post a lot on like social media. I don't even know if bro posts anymore. So I think a lot of things went wrong for bro. But I think anything you could even say a C, but I think
Mhm.
C minus, bro. It's just like I don't know where he goes from here. So
I agree. Oh, I know where he goes. Anywhere else?
yeah, low key.
Josh Giddey, you are a Utah Jazz.
Unfortunate. Yeah. Hey, give us Lori. Anyways, hmm, wait. Number 7. Jonathan Kuminga. I almost said his
Yeah.
nickname, but I'm not gonna do it.
That would have been crazy. This rating pisses me off because I want to give him higher because this player is so awesome.
Yeah.
Steve Curtis does not care.
No.
So I'm going B just off talent.
Hmm.
It should be a higher rating though. I'm
I gave
hoping
him a
that he
B.
gets more rep once like Clay and Alden leaves, but it's a B. I feel like because when he's on the court, man, he hoops. Like
Yes.
they
Yes.
put him on the court. It's not even an injury thing.
It's just hate at that
And
point.
it shouldn't even be a depth thing. It's like, oh, the Warriors are so loaded. This team stinks.
They suck. Like, just play them. Like, what? No, I gave him a B as well because like the potential is there. When he literally when he plays, we're like, damn, this dude's good. But Steve Kerr's like, man, he's good. Bench him. Like, come sit next to me. Come sit next to me.
Mm.
Like, no, like, I'm not gonna lie. Let's call a spade a spade. This year, was he not the Warriors' second best player, if not third?
He was second when Draymond wasn't there.
Draymond. That's the second guy. But without Draymond, second best player, third best player,
Mm.
Kuminga. Like, I think, and we've always seen flashes with him. And early on, it made sense why he wasn't getting many minutes because they were a championship contender. I get it. You
Mm.
had some things you were figuring out. This year, why is he not starting? Literally, you have no reason not to start him. So I hope that moving forward, he's a starter. Please do not. If I see Andrew Wiggins or Clay or whatever starting over him, I don't. Steve Kerr, you should be fired. You're not
I
gonna
agree.
get fired, but you should be fired because
Mhm.
that's just you shouldn't do that. So I think he's a easy B.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Next one, Franz.
This is
Uh,
so close to an A plus. So close.
yeah, I gave him an A.
I agree.
Um, but okay, the thing is, he's better than I expected. I'm not gonna
So
lie.
much better.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
And
just
at 8,
yeah, and he was the second guy on a legit playoff team. Got him
mm,
at 8, and he's only gonna get better. Like how
yeah.
he can pretty much score anywhere. He's fun to watch. The Magic are here. The Magic killed this draft.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I might give him an A plus. Here's why.
Okay.
We kind of gave Jalen Williams in the previous video, or yeah,
Mhm.
an A plus because one, he was drafted like 12 and he ended up becoming one of the better players in his draft. Franz kind of has that same thing going for him,
Yeah.
right?
It's just the aura of J-Dub.
Yeah, I mean, no, the Jada Aura, he has a great PR team, right? But Franz, if you're not a nerd, you might not even know who Franz is. So
Yeah.
maybe the aura might bring him down. But I feel like as a player, Loki should be an A plus.
Yeah, it's just I think the game 7 against the Cavs hindered me a little bit.
Oh, that was such a bad game. Okay, yeah.
But there's definitely like I think one more season I'll have as an A plus, but just for now I'm gonna just stick with my A.
That's fine. I ain't mad at that. It's okay. The next few is gonna be some stickers.
It gets real stinky the rest of
Like
this one.
literally the rest of the draft, except maybe one guy. I
Yeah.
actually like one of these other guys, but the rest
Yeah.
of these, dude. So number 9, Davion Mitchell.
B minus. He still plays
Yeah,
at
D
least.
minus.
He still
And
gets
he's lucky.
minutes.
He gets minutes, and he's lucky. He's like not a terrible defender. He's a good defender, right? That's
Yeah,
one of the
but he
only
was
things he can
drafted to be
do.
an elite defender. No one thought he was
And
gonna have
he
an offensive bag, and he's not elite.
no, he's not elite. His
He's
offense
good.
is actually so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like he's I don't even know how he still plays because
Yeah.
he's almost in that bracket for like you might have to get this dude off the court. And I'm
Hmm.
not gonna lie, moving forward, can he play defense? Sure, bro. You're 5'11". Like I'm not one of them dudes that's like hating on
Me,
people who are
me
short.
laughing as I'm 5'9".
But like you're 5'11" in the NBA defense, it's always gonna just be harder for you, bro. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So, because God forbid, like you get a switch on Luca. I don't care how good you are on defense. That dude is almost a foot taller than you, man. You're cooked,
Yeah.
you know. So a D minus. It's just when they drafted him, I was already confused because they had Reese and Fox, and I was like,
Mm.
what? You drafted another guard, but whatever. I think we both agree. D minus. If he wasn't playing anymore, he'd probably get an F. But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. All right.
But that's where Zaire Williams comes into the
Yeah. Number
situation.
10, Zaire Williams.
This is the worst pick of the draft.
F.
This is awful.
F. The thing is, he was a reach when they drafted him.
Uh,
He was a reach.
and it did not live up. Dude, the
No.
Grizzlies had no players this season and he was still not playing. Dude, he's so bad. Dude, no, my favorite moment ever though is that when they were doing a giveaway for the Grizzlies and
Oh
like they
my.
spin the wheel and it's like you won Zaire Williams autograph and the guy just straight face as could be.
Bro, Zaire Williams. You know what's funny? I've been watching him since high school. I remember him at like Sierra Canyon. And I was like, yo, I wasn't sure about him. I thought Brandon Boston was better, but I think he was ranked higher than Brandon Boston. I don't remember. But I was like, Zaire Williams, I'm like, he's cool. And then he went to Stanford. I was like, Stanford. I mean, okay. If you're talking about basketball, I'm a little confused. But if you're talking about like schooling, sure. And then he got picked 10, and I was like, that's a reach. He didn't have that good of a college year to get picked 10. And I guess the Grizzlies were banking on him becoming something. It didn't happen, buddy.
No,
That's an F.
straight F. Do we just keep him coming?
Yeah, James Booknight, F.
F. You
Like
suck.
you're. Remember how many people were hype about James Booknight?
Yeah, dude, he was cool in college.
He was for sure. He was a bucket low key, but F easy.
F.
This next one, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to even like grade. Uh,
No, I will
Josh,
F.
he's an F. Josh
Yeah.
Primo, obviously he's an F, but like,
He
yeah, I
did
don't
it to
even.
himself.
Yeah, literally. We won't talk about what happened, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, 13, Chris Duarte,
F.
F or D minus. He
What
was he
somewhat
wasn't
plays like
somewhat plays, and he wasn't terrible his rookie year. I don't know what happened after his rookie year. They were just like, nah, we're good. Yeah, he's probably an F low key, bro. Just
Dude,
has no
that's
impact.
4 Fs in a row.
Damn. And Davion Mitchell would have been an F if he wasn't playing either.
Yeah,
So it
dude,
was
oh
damn
my
near
God.
five.
Damn, this lottery sucks.
Yeah. And then
Well,
all
the
right,
top half was cool.
the top like 8 is like, all right,
Mm. Yeah.
Cook. All right. Number 14 and last, Moses Moody. Okay.
This one I gave a C plus.
That's what I did too.
Yeah. But kind of like Kaminga, it should be higher.
Yeah.
It just should be. You just don't
Literally.
play.
Because when you see him play, you're like, yo, Moses Moody's like actually good. And Secret's like, all right, bet that was a good play. Come sit next to me, man. I don't get it.
I don't get it. Like, I don't think he's like Kaminga good, but it's
No.
still like you could contribute in the NBA good.
He's a 14th pick. Like
Yeah.
lottery, like your 14th. Your team already picked another guy at 7. Like you picked 7 Kuminga to be your next like star guy. You picked Moses to be like you're like, all right, he should be solid. And he's shown that he can be solid when Steve Kerr actually gives him minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think C plus is definitely the right pick because we've seen it. It's really just his own coach. It's like, nah,
I just don't like you.
literally simple as
Mm-hmm.
that. So that rounds out our lottery draft grades.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what y'all think about the grades. I feel like we actually did really good. I feel like these are some really good grades.
We're never wrong.
No, you're not gonna tell us we're wrong, by the way. We're right all the time.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the next few. Some
Uh-huh.
interesting drafts coming up as we continue this series. But
You want to know what
we've
I'm
done
excited
some.
for, Everton?
What are you excited for?
Lead into it. Lead into it. This is my favorite segment to do, and I'm so happy we're coming
Look,
back to it.
we've had our fun today. Not a lot of fun. There's some more fun coming. But look, we've been grading all day, this and that. Let's hear some takes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear some takes. We've
Oh,
done a
definitely
video.
some takes.
Some takes. They are one of the takes of all time. We did a video a few weeks ago where we did this thing called Argue This Shit Take. We're bringing it back because I ain't gonna lie, me and Joey had so much fun doing this video last time. Like, it's fun having to make the other person argue a take that's so horrendous
Yeah.
that you can laugh while doing it. So, got a few takes in front of us. It's time to argue this
Yeah.
shit take, man.
Thank you, Gilbert Arenas, for the inspiration for this because your
And
takes
Brandon
are awfully
Jennings.
bad. And Brandon
And
Jennings.
both of y'all made this so easy for us, literally.
Thank you. Thank you for the best
So,
idea in the world.
I introduced this. You can go first, though.
Okay. I want to see which one. Okay. Let's start off with this one. We're gonna go easiest to hardest, I feel like, because that's more
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is a height merchant.
In what aspect?
He's too tall, bro.
Yeah, okay. Here's why Jalen Brunson is definitely a height merchant. I guess it's all about perspective. Yeah, you might feel like he's shorter, but he plays like he's like 6'8". So I feel like he's actually like he's really 6'8". Because when you look about it like this, is he listed at 6 foot? Probably. But when I see 6 foot, all I can see in my head is he's really 6'1". When I think about somebody who's 6'1", I consider them 6'2".
Uh-huh.
And as it keeps going, I'm like, well, he's 6'2", so he's basically 6'3" at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And as it continues, we get all the way to about 6'8", 6'9". And that's what Jalen Brunson is.
Uh-huh.
Realistically, Jalen Brunson is 6'9".
Yeah.
And that's what gives him an advantage. It's unfair because he's a
I
point
agree.
guard and he's being guarded. he's 6'9", being guarded by other point guards who are shorter than him.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Oh, damn. I feel like that makes him such a tall merchant. Because without
I
him
agree.
being 6'9", he'd be flipping burgers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the difference between him and Giannis? So yeah, Everton, when you said that the other day, just I really felt that. Like that was such a
You
good
felt
take.
that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it I don't see it. But moving on from Jalen Brunson being the tallest guy in the room,
Uh-huh.
Joey, me and you were talking about this the other day because the Gilbert Arenas actually brought this up, and me and you actually agreed with him.
Hmm.
Steph Curry isn't generational.
Oh, dude, I felt that like only being able to shoot the ball. Cool. Has Steph Curry really ever won the dunk contest? Like,
No, what?
Is Steph Curry really a freak generational athlete? No, like he's just an average guy. Like, if me and Steph Curry stood back to back, the only difference between us is one of them likes feet and the other one doesn't. It's like, is Steph Curry really that generational? I don't think so. Like, you know how many people in the NBA can shoot the ball now? Like, I see Luca pulling up from the logo.
Oh,
Like,
you could
oh yeah,
shoot.
that's what I'm
You could
saying. Like,
shoot.
he was just the first to do it. Like, do we say the first person to breathe was a generational breather? No. Steph Curry was just the first one to make it cool. Like, whatever. That's not
Okay.
generational at all. Like, I could care less. Steph Curry didn't even change the game at all.
No, he didn't change the game at all. Generational means you were an athlete. I don't
Yeah,
care about what
exactly.
skills you have. Anybody could do that. Anybody
Mm.
could dribble
Anybody
around
can
the
shoot the
whole.
ball. Yeah.
Anybody could shoot. Anybody could run around the whole court like that. It
Mm.
doesn't. Anybody could do that, man. Steph ain't special at all.
Yeah, like, are we saying Trey Young should be unanimous MVP because he can shoot the ball from far? Like, let's be like,
Damian Lillard.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
That's
come on.
ridiculous.
Yeah, not generational.
Yeah. Okay, so Everton. I
Yeah.
know there's this team you're really passionate about.
Hmm.
So like we talk about them all the time, the Utah Jazz, and you were telling me that you think this team's ready to win the finals next season. I want to hear
Yeah.
why.
I mean, look, I love Utah, man. Like the Jazz, I can't stop talking about them, bro. It's like it's one of my favorite teams.
Hmm.
If I wasn't a Thunder fan, I'd be a Jazz fan. It's really that simple. Um, yeah, they're a finals contender. Like you got to consider this. Lauri Markkinen, you could argue best player at his position. At the
Uh-huh.
four, who's
Yeah.
better?
Most underrated
Some
player in the league.
easily some Greek dude. I don't care.
Hmm.
Some dude who plays in a yellow jersey. Don't care. Lauri
Hmm.
Markkinen is the best power forward in the league. And when you consider Keontae George is probably going to take a Steph Curry level leap, I
Yeah.
think Colin Sexton's already at that.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. Like you have those three right there. Walker Kessler, I think he's just simply Wemby. I mean,
Yeah.
he's simply Wemby at that point.
Uh-huh.
John Collins, yeah, he got posterized by Ant, but I feel like him getting that concussion is gonna wake him up and he's gonna
Yeah,
be
real.
literally Giannis. So considering all those things, Taylor Hendricks, their lottery pick, I mean, I think y'all are asleep, bro. He's about to burst onto the scene and show
Hmm.
y'all why he was the best player in that draft.
Yeah.
So with all those things considered,
Yeah.
this is a 60 win season
Yeah.
inbound for the
So
Utah Jazz next
Everton, you're saying the Utah Jazz have Lauri Markkinen, Steph Curry, Wemby, and Giannis next season?
year.
It's
I
pretty
think so.
yeah,
I
it's
feel
pretty
like
much what
that's
you said. Yeah.
pretty much like 60 win season inbound. I have league pass. I'll be watching every Utah Jazz game
Uh-huh.
next season.
Yeah. I'm so happy for you.
Oh man, I'm happy for myself, man. And I better see some of those Utah ex-Utah players courtside.
Yeah. Utah Jazz
Um
Nation, stand up.
stand up. Next take. Me and you were talking about this the other day.
Okay.
There's always like this discussion of what was the peak of basketball? Like what era was the peak era of basketball?
Hmm.
And me and you came to the conclusion, and it was mostly you because you're the one that brought this up.
Yeah.
The 60s was the peak of NBA. And I,
So
I like that take. I'm
it's actually
curious.
really funny because I remember we were both talking about this, and I actually wrote this one down, but I wanted to backspace it, so I had a different idea for us to talk about. So that's
Yeah.
really funny because like I know we both agreed on this one.
Yeah, we did.
The 1960s, like, dude, we've never seen fundamentals like this before in our lifetime. Their
No.
ability to, granny shot it off the backboard is one of a kind. You don't see people doing that anymore. You want to know why? Because
No.
they're height merchants. Like, if you really want to see the peak of basketball, you want to see some guy my height and my skin color just throwing it off the backboard. Because that's peak
Segregation
bas Yeah,
ball.
that's that segregation ball was the
I don't think you say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
it
I'll
was
say it. Segregation ball was the best ball. Joey, don't say
It was just, it was just a great time. Like those Bob Cousy minutes were really just moving the needle for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
oh my God. Oh my gosh. That
yeah,
was actually so funny.
there's the YouTube account, but yeah, the 1960s basketball was just real special hoops. Like I miss when they would dribble and they'd have the hand out, to defend, make sure nobody would steal the ball. It's just like that's really peak because like we don't really have any like discipline in the game anymore. It's just all this
No.
AAU hoop crap that nobody wants to watch anymore.
Yeah.
So that was really like, especially Wilt Chamberlain, the 100-point game we all saw with
Mm,
our own eyes.
we
Like,
all saw
yeah,
it.
who's stopping Wilt? Like, let's be serious. Like, no
Yeah.
one. And then Bill
No.
Russell, all these guys. Like, I was so moved by those days, and I wish we could re-witness them. Like, League Pass, get that up there because that was peak basketball.
Yeah, we got to be able to watch some of those back, man, for real.
hmm Yeah, I mean, if they went against these 2020s guys, they would mollywop them.
Oh yeah, easy,
Yeah, no
easy.
question.
Mm,
But Everton, there's one more take I wanted you to talk about, and it
yeah.
really surprised me to hear this one coming for you. Because
Mm,
I know you are an Oklahoma City Thunder fan yourself,
yeah.
but yet you think they have the worst future in the NBA. Why is that?
I think we, as an OKC fan, we have easily the worst future. Yeah, we had a good season this year, but I think it only goes downhill. I think Shea is probably gonna regress. I think Chet, this is his peak.
Yeah, absolutely.
J-Dub showed me in the playoffs that he's not built for it. We should probably
hmm
trade him before it gets worse. I think our best asset is probably Josh Giddey, and I think we should keep him
hmm
and make him our franchise player.
Yeah,
Um, and then the picks. I think the picks are overrated. I think like
absolutely.
I think we should trade them and trade them for like, I don't know, trade like 4 picks and get like, I don't know, like my favorite player, Tyus Jones. Trade like 8 picks and get Tyus Jones. Why not? I feel like that's a
Uh-huh.
great move for us. So yeah, I think it only goes downhill for us. We have one of the worst futures. I think a team that has a better future than us is probably like I don't know, like Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn has
hmm
a way better future than OKC moving forward. Like they have such a better makeup. Even Phoenix,
hmm
their owner said, 26 other teams would want their situation. I'm one of them. I want my team to be like Phoenix, you
hmm
know? So I'm really sad because I would have loved to see us win it all because I know it only gets worse from here, man.
I'm glad you're able to realize that because it's just over for the Thunder.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I really had to sit down in my room and like turn the light off and really like think about this, but that one hurt.
hmm
But my last take that I heard you say the other day, and I actually like this one. The NBA needs more games.
Oh, dude, like for real, like, dude, these athletes just always stay complaining. Oh, my leg hurts. Oh, my shoulder hurts. I need more rest. We need to make some money, and people are always going to 10-year games. So shut up and dribble because I'm trying to make some buckets. Because, dude, think about it. If we had a 100-game season to play into, like, you know how like in soccer they have the EFL Cup and the FA Cup. Who says we
Mhm.
can't do two in-season tournaments?
Why not?
It's like we'd make
Literally.
so much money, and the league would profit off that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the league making money and not about the players being happy at all.
No, we don't care about the
So
players.
I say we can do that, and then like if we made the playoffs like 11-game series instead of seven, no Mickey Mouse stuff would happen because like 7 games isn't enough to see who really is the best team because shenanigans happens. Give me 11
Yeah.
games and we'll really know what the best team is. So I think we need more games. We can just make a lot of profit. Imagine how big these players' contracts would be with all that money coming in. Oh my God,
True.
they're gonna
They
get
would
paid as
love
well.
that.
Yeah,
They
no,
would
they would.
love playing that. Yeah.
And then like I also think if you want to win MVP, like let's say we make it like a 100-game season, you should have to play 95 of the games.
I
Like,
think so too. Like, oh, you missed 5 games. That's tough, bro.
mhm.
You gotta play all 90. You gotta play 95 of
Yeah,
them, man. You just gotta
do you even love the sport?
you love this game of basketball? To
Yeah,
not play 90 games? You're a
it's
bum.
ridiculous. Yeah, these players are soft.
You're absolute bum. So yeah, they need to increase. Honestly, take what baseball does. What is it,
Yeah,
162 games?
182, 162, I think.
Why not?
Yeah.
NBA,
Yeah,
162. Why
yeah,
not?
like these guys, they don't even have families, bro. Like they hoop.
The KD route. What
Yeah.
does KD do outside of hoop? He'd love to play 162 games.
Dude, he saw him at the club the other day. He was literally practicing his form in the club. Like,
That's actually hilarious, dude. I saw that. Oh man. But yeah, that's full disclosure, guys. We do not agree with any of those takes.
not at all. And I swear
Not at all.
I'm not racist, guys.
I'm sorry. I might have set you up
It
with
was
that
not
one.
supposed to come out that way, guys. Yeah, I couldn't even keep a straight face for that one.
That was genuinely the funniest thing I ever seen. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. But again, those are argue this shit take. They
Yeah,
are shit
they're
takes for a
shit for a
reason.
reason.
They are terrible takes.
hmm
If you actually agree with these takes, you might have to look yourself in the mirror, bro.
Yeah,
That's, that's
Dude,
insane.
Gilbert Arenas heard like the racism was like, mmm.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
I love that.
I can't wait to get
I
an
need
email
more of
asking
that.
for an invite to hop on the podcast next week.
We should
Yeah.
because the takes they say over there.
Mhm.
Because another take that could have been on here: Malik Monk better than Donovan Mitchell. Really?
Ridiculous.
Come on.
Ridiculous. That guy's a
But
clown.
all in all, that's the 5 segments right there. This is a great
Mhm.
episode, by the way. We touched on a lot of great things. We
Mhm.
did some grades. We previewed the finals.
Mhm.
We also did a tier list.
But we ain't done.
We're not done. We also did some shit takes. But
Yeah.
of course, y'all know what time it
Uh,
is.
We
It's time
always
to have
end
some
we
fun,
yeah, we
man.
always end on something silly. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
start off in a little bit of a sad aspect.
Oh,
'Cause me and
okay.
Everton, we're MMA fans. And last night, Dustin Poirier had the opportunity to finish the story, but he got submitted in round five, had four title shots, and was never able to get the job done.
Nah.
Everton, I'm gonna make this one a little bit simple on you. We're gonna do this
Yeah.
in an NBA version.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you five guys that never won a ring. I'm gonna
Hmm.
let you rank if you could get these guys a ring from who you'd want to get the most, who you would want to get the least, and why you
Okay.
have it in that order.
Okay.
The five players you're gonna debate this for is Derrick Rose, Carmelo
Mhm.
Anthony, Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden.
Woo. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all know who my number one is.
Yeah,
It's Russ.
that was a gimme.
That was a gimme. My favorite player of all time. If this dude could just retire with a ring, I'm good. I could care less. He got a ring. So that's an easy one for me. Number two, Derrick Rose. If you didn't say Russ, Derrick Rose is one. But
Mhm.
Derrick Rose is two. Just because Russ is my favorite player, but Derrick Rose, as a fellow Chicagoan, we love him here. Like he is it means everything to Chicago people. So
Mhm.
to see Derrick Rose get a ring, oh, that would be it for me. I would love it. We will be there. So that's number two. You said Melo, Harden, and who else?
And Lillard.
Damn. See, the other two I'm really passionate about. The other three I'm like, um, okay.
I'll give you the chance. Is there like other players you would like? Who would you want to see finish the story? Like get
Outside
that
of those
ring?
three,
Yeah. If there's
okay.
not any
So
other players, those are the first five
those
that came to me.
those two for sure. Um, another person I'd like to see get a ring. Ooh, it just well, okay. I'm not gonna pick people who are in like the finals right now because that's like
Yeah, no,
dumb.
that's not allowed.
No, not at all. Who would be nice to see get a ring? That's not like Harden, Lillard, or well, you know what? I'll say Lillard like four.
Okay.
I'll think of other two people, but I say Lillard like four. It would be nice to see
Mm-hmm.
Lillard get one for all the loyalty he did for the Portland. Like that would be nice to see him get one. So
Mm-hmm.
Lillard at like four.
I think my number one would be Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy at three.
Yeah.
Yes, I
He
love
he
Jimmy
deserved
Butler.
it, man. He fought for
Yeah.
his life.
Oh my goodness, that picture of him over the yeah,
Yeah.
that hits home.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy at three for sure, and then five. Mm, okay, let me sit up. Hot take. Well, it's
Oh.
between these two guys, Chris Paul or Blake Griffin.
Okay. I like that.
So with Chris Paul, I know people don't really like Chris Paul and all that, but dude, Chris Paul's he's had a great career outside of not winning a ring. He's literally been really good, one of the best point guards ever, and he's just been really unlucky. Let's
Mm-hmm.
be honest. It would be
Yeah.
really nice to see Chris Paul get a ring. I won't lie. I would love to see Chris Paul get a ring. And then Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's one of my like 5 or 10 favorite players from the 2010s. I was such a big Blake Griffin fan, bro. Like prime Blake Griffin, man. So it would have been really nice to see him get a ring too. So either or for those two, honestly, even over Lillard, low key. I
Mm.
put Lillard at five and put like one of them or Lillard. You out of here. I ain't gonna lie. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, or
Mm.
Blake Griffin, Chris Paul.
I like that. If only we could just script it and decide who wins the rings, but unfortunately we cannot.
No,
But
unfortunately.
this will be the end of the 20th edition of the 5 Out Podcast. Everton Levy hosting it today because Joey's still getting over a sickness. But Everton, thank you for doing such a great job. And thank
Thank
you
you,
guys for
man.
tuning in. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, show some love. We love the support and we love you guys. And as always, make sure you stay smooth.